I gotta give him a name still. That's right. We're online and I'm saying that. I gotta come up with a name for that motherfucker.
That motherfucker.
That motherfucker. Good day, YouTube. Dear Dweebs United, we're here. How's my sound and everything? I'm on the different camera this time, so.
Seems pretty good.
Okay, every once in a while this camera stops working properly, so we'll see how it goes for the night. Luckily, the other camera is hooked up. I just gotta play with the settings and switch out. Yeah. So first and foremost, tell me if this was a little insensitive. So, as you have probably seen in the news, there's some stuff going on in Ottawa right now, and one of the comments made was that the Mill Street Brew Pub in Ottawa was on lockdown. And that came from Steve, the owner of Mill Street, and he was talking about it, and everybody was freaking out. And I said, well, looking on the bright side, there's lots of beer and food for everybody that's locked down.
Hmm. But yeah, you can't make any sort of jokes when a terrible, tragic, worldwide terror threat is going on, Chad. It's horrible.
So I was insensitive.
Oh, probably for the real crybaby, modern, weak-willed, lily-livered liberals who get offended by words and stuff like that. Yeah, probably.
Just checking what your idea was there. Yeah. And I freeze already. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you did.
I even tried to shut down like every application and process that's running on this computer that isn't needed. See if that would help. Obviously, it didn't.
Mm.
I want to do one of these times. I'm going to do my the broadcast from upstairs and see if it's just the laptop that just can't handle Google Plus.
Yeah.
So, like always, anyone watching, you can throw in your questions. You can ask us things. You can do whatever. First and foremost, though, what are you drinking, Lee?
Right now I got myself a big bottle of Propeller Extra Special Bitter.
I completely missed that because my computer froze.
Yeah, Propeller Extra Special Bitter, big bottle.
Oh, well,
Oh, you're freezing like a motherfucker.
yeah, I'm noticing that. That's awesome. I'm thinking of either one of two bottles, really. Yeah.
Number two.
Number two? You think number two? Number two?
Yep.
That would be my last can of London Porter.
Well, I have one of those for tonight as well.
I actually just found this can of London Porter. I was excited. I was going to watch the hockey game tonight, and they got canceled. And I'm just a sad panda right now.
No wonder you lashed out and are so insensitive today.
Isn't that a pretty beer, though?
It is. It's one of the best beers in the world.
I don't think it was on your top 10 list.
Um, Actually, I think it was.
There was some hatred for my suggestion of doing the top 10 beers owned by a big guy. I thought it was a
Who?
great idea.
When did you suggest this, and who?
Uh, I suggested it in our little group chat that we have going all the time.
Okay, and who got all bent out of shape about that?
Tiku Murray wants nothing to do with it. He only drinks Tiku glass beers, and
Well, old man Murray can just sit on it.
I mean, I know that right now we're just shooting the shit because there's only the two of us here. No one else has joined yet. But I mean, you think about it. There's so many big breweries that people don't even. Well, so many breweries owned by the big guys that people don't even think about. Hogarden. Hogarden makes a good beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's owned by Anheuser-Busch. Left makes a good beer. Owned
Yep.
by Anheuser-Busch. Arguably, Witchwood is owned by a giant brewery. Witchwood's Hobgoblin is a good beer.
Yep.
There are so many of them out there.
Which
Creemore, Unibrew.
Creemore, Unibrew.
Who is it that owns Witchwood? By the way, hi.
Hey,
Hey.
isn't it
The
Morelands or something like that owns fucking Witchwood now?
yeah, whoever owns Wells and Young.
Yeah.
Nelson Tongue.
But even like, I wouldn't even say Hobgoblin. I'd say like King Goblin is like one
King
of the.
Goblin is a much better beer than Hobgoblin, yes, but I can get Hobgoblin most of the year, or I can get King Goblin once a year.
The Black Witch is a pretty decent porter as well.
I can't get that.
I haven't had that. I remember when Black Witch used to be their stout, and they discontinued it, so they brought it back as a porter. That's interesting. Shit. Who else? There's other ones. I mean,
Goose Island.
Yeah, Goose Island. You could argue Guinness with Foreign Extra Stout.
Guinness kind of became their own macro though.
Yeah, but they're owned by Diageo though.
And Diageo is basically a big conglomerate of breweries and distilleries.
You could argue the fucking Hop City stuff.
Oh yeah, Hop City, Beer Academy in Toronto.
Was Hop City actually like a brewery before they were bought out by Moosehead? I
No,
mean,
what Hop City, Moosehead bought the brewery that was in Brampton.
yeah.
Or is it Brantford? Brampton, I believe, is where Hop City's home base is. They bought that brewery, they killed it off, and they only kept one beer off of it, which was the ice filtered light. They kept the building though, and then years down the road, they opened the building as a crafty brewery. Like when Hop City went in, Hop City was already owned by Moosehead.
It's kind of like ish.
Yeah,
Didn't Records start that way.
Records used to be. I think was Records. It wasn't. It was. I forget now how Records started. I know it was. I think it was before. I think it was bought up by Molson. I'm pretty sure the brand was.
Yeah, they're. I know a couple people that have met the guy that is the namesake of the brewery too, and say he's amazing. I've never met him. But yeah,
I mean,
it's.
Records Red. That's not even as good as it was like 5 years ago.
No. That wouldn't be on my top 10 list. Any
No.
Rickards products. Well, maybe Rickards Cardigan for me.
Oh no, fuck that shit. Maybe Rickards Lederhosen. Or fuck Blue Moon. You could argue Blue Moon.
Blue Moon does make some nice beers.
Could you include Boulevard Brewing in that now that they're owned by Duvel? Because Duvel's fairly large. I mean, it's not necessarily a macro per se, but
well, Duvel itself isn't a macro per se, but I wonder if they would hit that macro number if you added in everybody they own.
Depends on the country, I guess, whether it would be different. Because I mean, if in Canada they probably
because they have Omegang, they have Boulevard, they have a couple in Europe.
I mean, I think it all depends on whatever country they're selling it in would determine if they're still like a craft brewery or considered a big guy. So, I mean, in the U.S. you have to 2.3 million barrels or over, and you're a big guy, or
It's 6 million.
6 million? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
2 point whatever was what it used to be before they raised it to keep Sam Adams in.
Oh, okay.
What we were talking about last week, how Moosehead is technically a craft brewery according to their definition in the U.S.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, only according to their size definition.
Yeah. I mean, size really isn't everything, though.
It's how you use the beer, yeah.
It's the motion of the ocean.
How you use it.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, we'd be remiss not to include Alexander Keith's in there because they're such a earth-shattering craft brewery.
Yeah, but Keith is not independent.
So here's a question then. Now that I've had all four of the single hops from Keith's, and I've liked the 2 German traditional hop beers better than the 2 more known craft hops. What's your thoughts on what I suggest? Well, you might not have Untapped, but what I suggested on Untapped was that they toss away the entire idea of using new age hops and do all traditional hops. Just keep doing the traditional hops, UK Goldings, Fuggles, all that shit. Just do all that.
Well, that'd be great. The more Fuggles beers you can get, it would be awesome for you.
Well,
They make a Fuggles one yet, did they?
No, they haven't. They could easily make one. Yeah, they should. Well, it doesn't even have to be traditional earthy hops either. They could just go for some more grassy, noble hops and stuff like that. You know, just.
well, yeah, I'm just saying traditional hops because they seem to not dumb the traditional hops down.
Mm.
They just throw them in and are like, here's the traditional hops, because they know they're not going to make anybody go, oh, what's this?
And those hops are more complementary to just like the single pale malt they use.
Basically, cream ale they make.
Mm-hmm. I'd be all for it. I'm not a big hops guy anyway, so.
I just like the Galaxy hop and the Cascade hop. They both pissed me off.
Mm. Well, that's the thing. I can see it's like I'm thinking. I'm not a traditional hops, or I mean, I'm not a big hops guy, so if they went for the more traditional stuff, which they couldn't screw up as easy, I'd be probably more favorable towards their beers. Whereas if they're trying to hit the market with these like super amazing new hops and shit, all they're going to do is piss people off because you're a craft brew drinker going, this isn't Galaxy hops. Where the fuck's all the flavor? It's like, fuck.
And then, what other little beer news do we have going on right now? Norseman, the second beer from Bush Pilot, is finally out. Bush Pilot is a gypsy brewery here in Canada, technically. It's run by 2 guys, a husband and wife team that are the head of one of the distribution companies here. I don't know why they're calling it a gypsy brewery, though, because really they keep brewing at Nickelbrook, and Ryan Moreau is like their consultant. But this one, the Norseman, which is their Eisbach, is brewed also with the brewmaster from Nagna O.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Sounds like it might actually be better than the first one they did, because the first one they did I wasn't all too wild about. So.
And it's available at a select group of stores. There's 24 LCBOs, and about 22 of them are in the GTA. And then there's Sault Ste. Marie. Why Sault Ste. Marie? I don't know. Maybe there's still some Norseman planes flying around up there. I don't fucking know. And I don't even remember where the last one was.
It'd be interesting, though, to see something that might approach a real Eisbock style being made instead of just the shitty rip-off ice beers that you see everywhere. The one I want to try it.
I actually wanted to try it, but then I saw that I couldn't get it even from any of my connections, and I was like, fuck this shit. I stopped trying to find it.
One I want to try is that Bo's collaboration with DOA, their malt liquor.
I thought you were going to say the one with Garrison, and I was going to yell at you. You already had it.
Yeah, I already had that. That wasn't all that great. It was just kind of, it's okay.
It was a Saison, though, wasn't it?
No, it was a rye beer, rye harvest ale, rye and wheat. but it wasn't. It was like weak sauce. It's like it was so weak sauce they might as well put it in their Oktoberfest pack. I mean, this.
This year's Oktoberfest pack actually was a lot better than last year's. Not going to say it took much to get a lot better than last year's, but this year's was actually a pleasant surprise to what they gave us last year.
I think we said something that pissed off Dullahan Brewing. He said, "Only the two of ye, don't you like the Irish or something? Fucking incentives of albino rhino." I think he wants to be invited in.
It's all an open invite. You guys make this so much harder for me than it needs to be.
Well, I'll tell you what happened to me. I didn't even get it. I thought I didn't get an invite, but when I went to my Google Plus page, it just said albino rhino join hangout. I think that Google's being a tool bag.
Yeah, they've just recently done some changes again, so of course everything doesn't work. Like if you notice if you go to like just like the regular Google page, now they have that little plus box up by your picture where you can do the sort of shit you do in the Google Plus, like just right there offhand, like share a picture, start a hangout, all kinds of other shit. It's just like a little mini toolbar thing. And it's like, yeah, as soon as they implement one little thing, no matter what it is, it fucks everything else up. It's like,
But whatever the case, if the invite's been open, try and join. Like go to the Google Plus page, try to join in. You just don't get the notification, which is fucking stupid. Fucking stupid.
I have to go in through Chad's profile. Is my volume on today?
if you're watching the actual YouTube video, you should mute it there, Berserker, because we can hear an echo.
Yeah, let's just see what I can do.
Well, it was an awesome echo, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid, fucking stupid, fucking stupid, fucking... So, yeah, 5 of us. I haven't started drinking yet, so I'm still just, sitting here. I haven't slept at all either. I tried to sleep. My insomnia kicked in, and then my son stayed home from school because he was sick today. So even at nap time, I couldn't sleep. Hey, how about the news story that all the Count Chocula cereal was found drowned in beer in Colorado? There is a brewery in Colorado that does a cereal beer every once in a while, and this time they did a Count Chocula cereal beer. So they bought all the Count Chocula between like 4 stores. So there was absolutely no Count Chocula in this city, and there's people getting angry. We like to buy this every Halloween, and there's none here. And the owner's joking that he has a couple boxes left. He should auction them off. And...
Yeah, he should sell them on eBay.
That's good fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, whatever. It's just cereal. Get over it. I mean, I like Count Chocula too. I'm not gonna get pissed if someone buys it all up. It's not like I need it. It's not like I'm fucking Honey Boo Boo and I need my Count Chocula and I need my sketty and fucking butter too or something. Jesus Christ, get over it.
You're sketty?
Sketty and butter. Honey Child.
I don't watch that show, so I wouldn't know about sketty and butter.
Yeah, I've heard that much from the fucking show, and then of course South Park.
Oh yeah, you've heard of that, eh?
And South Park made fun of it, so they referenced it.
I'm not South Park.
Yeah, I'm drinking some Kirkland Costco beer tonight.
Ooh, fancy.
You guys ever tried that shit?
No. We don't get Costco beer out here. Just
No.
in your Costco liquor stores.
Yeah.
Pretty high end.
I imagine it's probably somebody making it for Kirkland.
Does it come in bulk? Is that what?
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. It's $27 for 20, or $37 for 24.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's about
Well,
the price of Canadian out here.
Kirkland what?
2 for them Molson.
It's like a taster's pack, a German lager,
Oh.
amber ale, India pale ale, and a pale ale.
That's pretty good.
It actually brews it. Like, it's Kirkland. Kirkland just sounds like it's a dummy company name or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just their name.
Costco store brand. It's like President's Choice.
Yeah, who brews it though? Like, it must be a
Um,
big brewery actually does it or something, right?
Eunice? Have you ever heard of Eunice?
No.
Is that what that means?
Mitzer.
Well, I mean,
It's,
Eunice could still be a dummy name on top of that. I mean,
Yeah.
Whitewater Brewing does the PC beers, and Whitewater Brewing is the Brick.
Yeah.
They just don't want you to know that the Brick is brewing it.
Probably Big Rock. Probably Big Rock making it.
It's by Hoppin and Malts Brewing Company, San Jose, California.
Oh.
Yeah, off in the malls. Okay.
I'm trying their lager first, so I imagine this will be the most disappointing one. It's got good head, though.
Oh, you want good head.
Yeah.
Utica.
It's like the #1 requirement. As I say, if I don't come in through your profile, Chad, I won't even get the invite for 40 minutes. So if Gallahan's wondering, he should come in through your profile.
I sent him an invite personally sent to him.
He just
So-
said he's only kidding, Chad, and I got the invite. Be there in a bit.
Oh, see, so he's just being an Irish bitch.
He's just being an Irish asshole. That's terrible.
I
Average
can
Joe's
say
on
that
here.
because my dad is an Irish bitch too.
Heard of Gordon Biersch Brewery?
Nope.
That's what's coming up is who makes Kirkland. Gordon Biersch on the West Coast and Matt Brewing on the East Coast.
I bet you Ryan.
Oh, Matt Brewing, so Saranac?
That would make sense.
Ah, okay. Average Joe's on here. He says too much macro talk and no craft talk make Homer or Joe something go crazy. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, I didn't receive an invite either. Fucking G+. No, it wasn't G+ at that. When it comes to inviting you, Joe, it was just we did invite you. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, we just keep Joe out.
Yeah, where you're on the ban list from with beer sampling with Dave. Have you blocked, brother? I've had enough of your shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some other beer.
Okay, you go get some other beer.
That was a good idea. I'll be right back.
I got 4 beers.
How is the lager?
It's not bad. It's a little bit weak, but actually there's not really much for bad flavors. It's just a little bit lame in the power, but that's better than being rancid in the finish. So
Yeah.
Good for a cheap lager.
What is your cheapest 2-4 in Alberta?
I buy Olympia in 12 packs for about $1, little over $1 a beer.
Okay.
Old Milwaukee, and if you go the higher end, like Old Style Pilsner's a little bit cheaper than Molson and the other ones, and it's about the same. So I usually opt for that if I'm going to go slightly higher end. Well, I just go for the Olympia. Seems to be and Bow Valley and Brew House from Great Western. Well, Great Western Brewing brews Brew House in Saskatchewan, I believe. And Olympia's brewed in Saskatchewan as well.
Yeah, our cheapest 2-4s you'll find are $29.90 a 2-4, and then we can fly all the way up to like $60, $70, mattering what you're buying.
Yeah, we be about 26.
Yeah, so not
might be
much.
something cheaper. Yeah, no, not really.
All right, I'm gonna steal the Rhinos gimmick. 1 or 2.
2.
2. Innocent Gun rum finish.
Ooh. I must tell you, my palate isn't tasting very good right now.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to taste your palate, quite frankly, but
All those double IPAs that I had tonight
yeah.
just destroyed it.
Ooh, that's been sitting on the shelf far too long. No wonder they reduced the price on it.
Skunk?
Smells that way. Smells a little skunky. It'll probably clear up as soon as I start drinking it. But
We're all sullen today.
Yeah.
I guess it's from that Ontario shit in Ottawa. You got everybody in the country down or some shit.
No, we don't. We don't care. We're all insensitive about that, apparently. But just one of those weeks. One of those weeks where we didn't really have anything prepared. We're just bullshitting.
Yeah. Again, to anybody watching, if you have questions, ask them. We'll answer them. You helped drive us this week because there was nothing prepared. I haven't slept in like 4 days. I have a few topics to talk about, but I'm trying to hold them back so that we're not out of topics as early as sometimes.
What are you drinking? That looks pretty gnarly.
Myself? Oh, nothing special. Just Fuller's London Porter.
Okay.
Evening, folks.
Hey, Greg.
What's going on?
Fucking insensitive rhino.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I am. The only thing I can
I
say.
came in right at the start and I said, yeah, that's Chad.
The only thing I can say. Oh, our brew club is locked down in Ottawa. Well, at least there's lots of beer and food.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? That's exactly what I would say too.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lighthearted joke. That's not like saying, "Oh, I'm glad that soldier got murdered."
Lee, people just get so buttered so easily these days.
Yeah, I learned that a few times.
Yeah, because apparently
especially in the beer, in the beer social media group.
Yeah, Rhino's not only insensitive; he's the biggest male chauvinist, patriarchal white asshole in the world. Apparently.
Well, unless you count Paul. He's bigger. Well, I wouldn't say that to his face, though.
No.
That's a big-ass motherfucker, man. I thought Chad was big until I saw Paul standing beside him. I was like, holy cow.
Yeah, Paul's gigantic.
Why we call him Squatch.
Oh no, I think he's talking about the cook. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, the other Paul.
Yeah, Cantankerous Cook, whatever his first name is.
Yeah, both Pauls actually are pretty fucking huge.
Yeah, just one of them's tall, and the other one is a giant Pollock.
That would be the one I'm on about.
Wide.
Yeah, you guys didn't see him on his motorcycle, did you?
What do you do?
Oh, he drives a little Yamaha motorcycle. So
Oh, one of the mini motos.
It's a fat man on a little bike. I laugh at him every single time he comes.
Oh, old man Murray's on here, left a comment. Said, "Hey fellers, bit busy to join. For the record, I have no interest in doing a top 10 big guys list, as I make an effort not to drink them, although occasionally happens, as I hate the claws they have dug into our province specifically, and all the ripple effects."
When I say top 10 big guys, I'm not like, ooh, Molson Canadian. I'm top 10 things owned by a big company. Again, there's some great beer owned by a big company. And if you avoid drinking it, you shouldn't be touching Bourbon County.
Exactly.
You shouldn't be touching a lot of things.
Yeah, look, he goes on to say, just like Greg Cook, fuck that guy. He votes with his wallet. I like the list topics, but enjoy a different list, sorry. And, yeah, well, then you shouldn't be drinking Goose Island there, dude. Come on now. Come on. Smarten up. We're not saying, oh, we like Molson Canadian. That's one of the top big guy beers.
No, like I even said in the thing, just off the top of my head, I was throwing out, Hoegaarden, Creemore Urbach or Keller beer, Unibrew.
And he froze again.
It's good. He went a while without freezing.
He's the first freeze of the night.
No, that wasn't
No,
the first
second.
reason tonight. Yeah, I was saying like Creemore Urbach or Keller beer, Hoegaarden, like we were talking about, possibly Duvel if you consider them a big guy. Boddingtons, you could. Hops and Bolts. Well, not Hops and Bolts, but Mad Noisy's Sunny and Cher. I really like that one. Unibrew's La Trois Pistoles or La Fin de Monde.
Three Pistols.
There's some great beers out there that are owned by the big guys. The BCBS, the Bourbon County Coffee Stout, the
Yeah.
Well, Chad, if I might butt in here, one of the ways I like to look at this is if you didn't have the big guys, and I mean Ab InBev, Sapporo, is it, and all the rest of them, you wouldn't have the little guys.
That's the thing. We'd be bitching about the big
Yeah.
craft breweries, you know. Like,
If the big guys weren't out there, think about it. There wouldn't be. I don't know how to put. You know what I'm getting at, though.
Could be
Yeah, well-
prohibition even.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't go there. Although the way the drink
The
laws
big,
are,
guys, the big guys did pave the way, as much as most people don't want to admit it. The big guys did pave the way. If they weren't there pushing beer to be more and more popular, so more and more people were willing to try it.
yeah, exactly. If the big guys weren't there getting on to hop farmers to come out with new strains of hops, or getting on to yeast producers to come out with new strains of yeast, the little guys aren't going to be able to do that, but the little guys still benefit from it.
And also a big reason the little guys are here is because they're a reaction to the big guys and what they do.
Yeah. And
Yeah, after a long time of having the exact same stuff, people didn't want it anymore. That's how the big guys were able to start changing. Well, the little guys were able to start coming in.
And if everybody plays it right, everybody will benefit. But there's just too many asshats out there, I think.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you go down the list, and of the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of breweries in the world, there is a good portion of them owned by big guys, by the conglomerate guys. But not all, like, a lot of them do make good beer, and if you're going to avoid it, you're going to avoid some good beer. Left red or left brown, I like both of those. Those are really good beers.
Hobgoblin is, you were saying earlier, is actually owned by Moreland.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Owns it? Okay.
And they own Wells and Young, though, as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I knew whoever owned it owned Wells and Young as well.
Yeah.
Wells and Young get bought by them recently, or did they become? Just wondering at what point in the timeline did they become shit?
It was only a few years back because I remember Terry Kay going how
Recently, yeah.
Yeah, it was like
'cause-
4 or 5 years ago when Terry Kay started his freak out about them changing the recipes.
yeah
Beer Goggles reviews, yeah.
he was getting on Bombardier and the banana bread beer and stuff like that, saying how they've drastically gone down. And
Actually, there's another one. Most of the breweries that are owned by the big guys that I like are usually Anheuser-Busch or Sapporo or something. But one that's Molson Coors is Worthington's White Shield. That's actually a nice beer.
never had it, so I don't know. We got a couple more comments here. Average Joe says, "It's all right. I'm putting together an awesome beer list for the Detroit Fall Beer Festival this weekend. A better way to spend my time than argue whether or not I'm putting Coors Banquet on my top 10 macro list of you douche nozzles." Fuck you, Joe.
So he's still being stupid about it, right?
He's still
Not
being
even getting it.
a jackass.
He's just trying to troll us to be a troll.
He's just trying to troll us. Average troll.
Douche nozzle was a good one though.
Yeah. And Strange Bruising says, "I said it occasionally happens. Besides, Bourbon County is American. It's my one cheat, but if it makes Chad feel better, I will pour the few I have left."
Yes, just keep tasting.
Yeah, just keep tasting, brother. Man, we just got a fucking pack of trolls.
So, Chad, have you got a lot of blowback from that recent gig that you did with the top 10 lists?
No.
He's frozen again.
No, I'm not frozen.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't
I-
gotten any blowback at all, actually.
If anything, you had someone ask you to actually write it out for them, so they didn't have to watch the video and find it, I guess.
I had a few people asked for me to
saw
write it out.
most of it. It's quite good.
The Bring Out Your Dead beer got plugged hard that day. They should be kissing their ass.
They're really that good.
I want some now.
Like I said when I was going through the list at the end when I compiled it to the top 30, there were a lot of beers from Bellwoods I'd never had or I didn't like. But are they that good? They are a good brewery.
Yeah.
Well,
They're one of the breweries that I haven't had anything from them yet that has been made badly. There's things I don't personally like, but nothing's been a poor quality beer.
I've tried everywhere I can think of in the UK after watching that cast, and everywhere I can think of here, and I cannot find one damn Bellwoods beer anywhere.
No, you're not going to. They're too small right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Neither can I.
I don't know what size they are, so I don't know.
But to give you an idea of what Bellwood's Bring Out Your Dead is like, you think of like the really top quality, top tier beers from every country, like just say the U.S., like Parabola, KBS, County,
Okay.
stuff like that. That's our equivalent in Canada.
Okay, good.
They have Skeleton Key coming out too right now. Skeleton Key barrel aged for 12 months in rum barrels.
Is it just a Imperial Stout or?
1 second, I'll tell you exactly what it is because I'm on the Canadian beer blog right now.
Lee, while Chad is looking there another Canadian beer released there quite recently within the last week, something Bushcraft something? Or Bush...
Bush Pilot?
Bush Pilot, yes,
That's
I was
the one.
talking about that earlier. Bush Pilot's Norseman.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. It's got the Nogna O guy brewing with them.
Yep. It is a 13% ABV spiced and barrel-aged Imperial Stout.
Oh, interesting.
Spiced with black pepper, cardamom, cinnamon, star anise, nutmeg, juniper berries.
What beer is that, Chad?
This is the Skeleton Key by Bellwoods.
Alright, good.
Huh. That sounds interesting. That almost sounds...
It comes out Friday at 11 a.m. and 8 bottles per person is the limit.
Huh.
Hey, Greg. No.
What's that?
Not you. Bylog, he's watching.
Oh.
It sounds like actually kind of reminds me of that fucking Bush Pilot, their first beer.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be too much.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I keep butting in, there's a bit of a lag here on my end.
That's alright. We all talk over each other and butt in and shit. We have no respect for each other, so it's okay.
We know the Irish just butt into everything.
What are you saying? You're Irish.
Yeah, that's what you know.
I know how my daddy is.
That's true.
Oh, he's got a couple more comments here. He's just throwing the hatred down tonight. Holy fuck, while I can give them credit for paving the way early on, they have too much to say and influence on distribution laws in Ontario. That is what I take most issue with, and that's in regards to the big companies. And he says, fuck, Bring Out Your Dead, gonna throw it on the ground, I'm an adult.
But he is right about the distribution laws, though, isn't he?
Yes, that's true. Very true.
T.Q. Murray.
They do choke out people, but then again, so do some craft breweries that get too big for their britches. So.
But like, how is that's what I always found funny is how is that not affecting their own sales? Like, I mean, how is that not hurting them by doing that?
It actually has just started to give them a lot of negative feedback. All the stuff they're doing with the beer store in Ontario, just started giving them negative feedback. Yeah. Actually, that is something. There's a bunch of news articles that have come out over the last week about how Catherine Wynne or Catherine Winnie, however the fuck you want to say her stupid name, is talking about.
That bitch, just call her that.
Yeah. She's talking about getting rid of, trying to get rid of the beer store monopoly. And one of the things they're talking about doing is selling 12-packs at the LCBO, because that's what we need. We need to take more shelf space away from the Ontario craft brewery.
Yeah.
12-packs there. But beside the point, whatever, you want to take away their monopoly, you want to take away their monopoly, but I'm not going to believe any of it until I actually see it, because this has been talked about for 6-7 years now. And it comes and it goes and it comes and it goes. My thing is, okay, if you think you're going to lose revenue, and I don't know how they think they're going to lose revenue this way, but if they think they're going to lose revenue with private shops, scrap the private shop idea, okay? Scrap the private shop idea, even though you're still making your 44% tax on every beer sold. Scrap the private shop idea and make LCBOs that are specifically made for beer.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
And if you somehow think that you paying an LCBO employee their LCBO wage is going to make you more money than just taking the 44% tax on top of everything, do it that way. But do something that gives us more access to more beer and more Ontario beer.
Why can't they just allow beer to be sold any place that has a liquor license?
Oh, the only places that have liquor licenses are restaurants, breweries, the LCBOs, and the beer store.
Yeah.
You can't buy beer anywhere else, like in a supermarket?
No,
Not in Ontario.
Holy cow.
not anywhere in Canada, I don't think.
Shit,
Just
I didn't realize it was that bad, guys. Sorry.
Well,
You
they're
get it in stores in Quebec. And
yeah, Quebec. I think you can do it in Alberta.
I know you.
Oh yeah.
not in Alberta. The actually, Berserk, you would know.
I just bought beer at Costco, man.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
Lost
like
night, like in the adjacent building, right? Like you
I
go
don't-
outside of Costco.
yeah, but I actually froze for the last little bit here, but we have like privatized liquor stores
Yeah.
all over.
Oh yeah, they
But
outnumber convenience stores.
Yeah, we used to have a Alberta liquor store, and that went out. And when I was a kid, probably like 12 years old, they got rid of those.
There are a couple of little convenience stores in Nova Scotia that actually do have like a license to sell, but
Like-
they're out in the fucking boondocks. That's the only reason. There's
Yeah,
no.
you do have that here too. You have outlet stores, and what they are is a beer, whatever type of store they are, and they'll have the LCBO and the beer store attached to them. So
Yeah.
it's not even government employees in those. So don't tell me you can't have it at a store because you already have it. You already
Yeah.
have agency stores out there.
They just make that nanny state argument that it's going to corrupt children and turn them into drunks and stuff. Like, fuck off. It's just an old style of thinking, and the only reason they keep putting that argument forward, even though has had holes shot through it, is because they have the majority say, they have the voice in government, and they have fucking big breweries in their pockets.
That's almost as stupid as New York not putting the ABV in the bottles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
No,
not.
I think the ABV not being on the bottles is stupider myself, but and I think it is because of this. Their argument is if you see the ABV on a bottle, you're going to automatically pick up the higher ABV beer. But with drinking and driving laws, you want to drink a beer before you one beer with your buddies, and you don't know. Say there's this one here with 5% alcohol there, and there's this here with 15. You don't know which one's which. You pick this one because it sounds cooler. Now you're too drunk to drive.
Oh, I want that 15% Fuller's London Porter. That'd be sweet.
It was a fucking example piece of shit.
I still want it.
I didn't think Fuller's London Porter was 15%.
Yeah.
Imperial London Porter.
Ah, yeah, that would be it. I've had the normal one, all right. It's quite nice. It's not the best, but it's okay.
Oh, you just get yourself a still, and you can make anything 15%.
I have it still.
Out here, everyone wonders why if you get a bottle of Hooterite wine, why one jug will get a whole party smashed. But I don't know if you guys have Hooterites out there.
Hey, Ryan, check the comments.
Average Joe's.
Everybody has a still here. Not.
Average Joe. Yeah.
Well,
Because,
Re-releasing Bring Out Your Dead.
Bring Out Your Dead's supposed to be coming out too. Sorry, go ahead.
Average Joe says, I believe Chad wants to place an order by log. He wants all the Skeleton Key. Also, there's this other beer that might be released that day that might have been the #1 beer in Ontario based on someone's list recently. Yeah. And
that wasn't really based on somebody's list. That's all 5 of us voted.
yeah, it
That's
was
one of the
everybody's
top
list. And Bylog says, also, it's not official yet, but it sounds like they'll be re-releasing Bring Out You Did this Friday, too. Yeah. So.
Well, it would be smart. You might as well just have them both, so if somebody rushes in for one of them and it's sold out, they can get the other one, which will probably be just as good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you didn't get Skeleton Key? Well, here's the best beer in fucking Canada. Would that be a suitable replacement for you, sir?
Maybe that would be a good top 10 because we did local area beers for top 10, like Ontario beers. We did our top 10 all the time. But what about top 10 Canadian?
Wow, that'd even be a bit of a harder list to do because I mean, honestly,
Thinking back on everything you've had from every different
Number one,
province.
because he lives in the beer wasteland.
well, that's true. And
Oh my
basically,
God.
but honestly, you don't realize you're actually not joking. But but when you think about it, I mean, Chad, you're further east than anyone but Berserker, and really, there's a cutoff line between Ontario and Western Canada where there's just a lot of shit out there that you don't even get, and then we have no hope of getting as far east as I am. So
between between Manitoba and Ontario, and
yeah.
Northern Ontario is very sparse.
We do hit a lot of we do get a lot of beers from BC though. Not as many from not much really from Saskatchewan. We get 2 paddock wood beers every once in a while. Not much from Alberta. We do get some Alberta beers. Nothing at all from Manitoba gets here.
Well, you guys get BC stuff, right?
Yeah, some stuff.
We've been getting a ton of Central City stuff from New Brunswick lately.
We haven't been getting the Central City stuff. We've had the Red Racer and that's it.
Yeah, we don't get it. I mean, it might be in the private shops, but we don't get it regularly in the NSLC.
I see Don share the pictures of all the other Red Racer, like the Central City stuff, and I want to punch them every time.
Yeah,
and then
really?
I want to punch their marketing guy because it's the exact same girl, and they just like change her outfit or her hair.
I just had the copper ale last night. It's all right, but they're
I had their pumpkin ale. Yeah.
Yeah. But the only BC stuff we get in Nova Scotia is Granville Island and the other one that's
Lion's
actually
Winter Warmer.
fuck that shit.
mint flavored.
Granville Island's fucking terrible. But the other one that's actually good.
Phillips.
Okanagan Spring.
Okanagan Spring. Okay. You guys get Okanagan Spring, but we don't. I just don't think we do.
There's a lot of BC breweries that are fucking horrible. I think they're extract, a lot of them.
There's a lot of breweries, period, that are just horrible. I mean, in all honesty, this is one of the things I had talked about for a while. At the beginning, like 5 years ago when I started doing this, and like 6 or 7 years ago when we started doing this, like the videos themselves, we were, for the most part, a proponent to help support craft beer and help advertise craft beer. Now it's more like you're a consumer advisory board, because there is some shit out there now. It's a lot of people trying to make money off of beer because they think it's a fad. They don't realize how long you have to be in it before you start actually making a good profit, and they just jump into it and they make some horrible shit.
It's more like it's after turning into more like a YouTube critique for craft beer, so to speak.
Yeah. There's craft brews out of BC that are way worse than any macro lager I've ever had.
Well,
die is disgusting shit.
Well, that's the thing. You get these craft breweries like what are they called there, Brock Street or whatever the fuck that the one Wheels is starting up. Their whole idea is to fucking jump into it full-fledged and make a profit on the first fucking year by making substandard shitty tourist beer. Like, that's not how you do it. That's not how you get in craft beer and make good beer. I mean, that's jumping in it to try to make a profit, and hopefully he falls flat on his fucking wheelchair and fails.
But like Lee, you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, those startup companies like that, I mean, you see them across the board. They're jumping in, and the only thing that's in their head is the money. They're not in it for the beer. They're not in it for the quality. They're just in it for the profit.
Yeah, there's 2 things that can make, well, there's 3 things that can make a brewery succeed. And I said this in my fight with, as Lee calls them, Wheels, when I sent him my response about his thing with the Brock Brewing Company. And the 3 things that can make you succeed is your location, and I'll say that one first because that one's the one that matters the least. You can make shitty beer but be the only brewery around and still succeed. Baysville, for instance, in Erie, Ontario. Not great beer. They're in a port town. There's one road in, one road out. It's a huge tourist area. All the people that live there will buy it because it's local. All the people that come in will buy it because there's nothing else. The people. You can make substandard beer, but your people can be amazing, and you'll still do okay. Or your beer. Your beer is amazing, and you'll do okay. Really, you want combination of at least two of those three to be super successful. But those are the three things that really matter for a craft brewery. If you were to ask me my opinion on it,
because if you have owners who don't care, and then they hire people who are passionate about beer, they're not going to support those people. They only care about a bottom line, so they don't actually care about the people under them making the beer who are passionate about making good beer and experimenting and stuff. They want to run it like a strict fucking business plan kind of thing, where they want to hit the bottom line, right?
Go
ahead.
You don't think it's possible, like, that hiring people that are passionate about craft beer, if you have enough of them in a brewery, that they could maybe sway the way things are going?
I don't think they can sway the owners unless they made like incredible profits. I think that's the problem. I mean, you can hire guys who are passionate for craft brew, but the reality is, if they're trying to run it, if those people you hire try to run it like a real craft brewery, they're probably not going to make a profit in the first couple years.
No.
And then the owners are going to fucking shit can them and find people who can make their shitty beer and hit their price margin or whatever and try to make a profit.
True.
Okay, for Ontario, I'll give you two examples here, okay? We'll talk about Cameron's Brewing Company and F&M, which is Stonehammer, and I'll just call them Stonehammer because I hate saying F&M. F&M is the first initials of the two owners. Cameron's made 4 beers. At the beginning, they made the 266 Dark Lager, the Lager, the Cream Ale, and the Auburn Ale. That's all they made. Their owner didn't care about anything but the bottom line. Cameron's ended up selling to Bill Coleman. Bill Coleman bought the place. They made those 4 beers. He also gave permission to Jay at the time to start making 1 seasonal beer a year, and then 2 seasonal beers, and 3 seasons. Now he's up to like 6. But he gives them, for the seasonals, you can spend as much money as you need on the ingredients. Here's what it is. But Bill was passionate about beer. Bill didn't know a whole lot about beer, so he relied on Jason and the other guys, but his passion and his willingness to experiment to try and make the brand get bigger is the reason Cameron's expanded. Cameron's is around Ontario now, and Cameron's is as popular as it is. F&M, for instance, Stonehammer. Stonehammer had a brewmaster that made some beers. I mean, Stonehammer Light is a nice beer. Stonehammer Oatmeal Coffee Stout, a nice beer. Their Dark is a nice beer. They ended up hiring George Eagleson, probably the most exciting, most passionate brewmaster you're going to find here. If you watch my Beerumentary video with him, I was with him for 6 hours and I didn't stop laughing the entire time. The guy's amazing and he's insane and everything. He's been allowed to make 3 one-off beers in his time there because his owner just wants that profit. He doesn't care about trying anything else. So he has one of the most passionate brewmasters in Ontario, and he's basically making them rot.
Yeah.
First thing I did this morning was go into a lending agency and see if they'd lend me money to open a brewery. You ever talk to a banker about opening a brewery? Nothing will scare the shit out of them more than that. You want to know details and shit? Oh, you want to know details on how to brew beer? Holy, you start trying to explain this process to them? Fuck, they don't want to lend you any money. I'm not going to do that next time. I'm going to say, I'm doing this with the money, give me the money, I'll do whatever the fuck I want with it after. You try and get money for this shit, it scares the hell out of people. They start telling me how to brew beer and shit, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean,
well, yeah,
they think they know. They think they know the market. You know, they don't know anything on the marketing or anything. Half of them don't even drink beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Well, all they know is by the numbers that when a brewery opens, a brewery is usually about 1 to 3 times over budget when it's opening. A lot of them fail in the first year. A lot of them don't turn a profit for the first 5 years. They know those numbers, and that's all they know, and that's what scares them.
Yeah. They got $200,000 mash tons. You know what I mean? Like, holy fuck.
Well, John Romano.
It's unnecessary.
John Romano, who owns Nickelbrook, is the best person for this stuff. Whenever somebody comes in and starts asking about starting a brewery or starting a contract, if they want to start a brewery, he looks at them and goes, "Do you have at least $2 million?" No, then don't even try it. Because once you buy your building and you start your renovations, you're going to run out of money that way. Then you start getting your equipment, and then you need this, and you need that, and you need this. And then this inspector comes in and says, this has to change, and this has to change. Even if you're thinking you're only going to open up a $500,000 brewery, you need at least $2 million sitting around because there's going to be expenses you don't know are going to come. And then when they come in for contract, They come into contract, and he looks at them and he goes, "Do you have at least $500,000?" And they go, "Well, no, we're just contract brewing. We thought we'd be paying by the batch." "Well, no, you need your own license. You need your own bottles. You need your own caps. You need your own staff." He's just going on. He's like, these people come in and they all think they're just going to make money without knowing anything about the business side of itself either.
At least he's being honest about it.
Well, he says he pisses off people all the time, but he's like, I'd rather you know than go out, waste $500,000 and realize you're $1 million short on what you need.
But like, you need more people like that, like in the craft beer industry or just brewing in general, because there's too many people out there like blowing smoke up your ass. To be honest, I think Lee's frozen.
No, I'm just.
All right, he's back.
I'm just trying to get the fucking comments to work on this thing. They've been fucking up. For a while there, like, usually you pick newest comments first, and it gives you your newest comments, but it was doing that. It was doing the opposite. I picked top comments. It was giving me the newest comments.
I don't know. YouTube has gone airspace recently.
Now,
Yeah.
now that we've been talking about Nickelbrook, I'm going to drink a Nickelbrook beer. The Pissed Off Pete's Pumpkin Porter.
All right. Greg says, how many bottles do you want, Chad? I assume that's the skeleton key.
Just one is all I actually need.
Just one. Although he wants all the Bring Out Your Dead, so you should.
You know what? Even Bring Out Your Dead. I don't want to take away anybody's amount that they can buy if they only can buy like 5 or 6 or 8. I just need one. I just love the beer so much. You know what?
And a regular listener of the show, Rating on Your Parade, says the Guinness American Lager is awesome. I expect this beer to do well. It's got a nice small character, finishes a little dry. They like to use the word American on the bottle, so they plan on going after Bud Miller Coors in this one. And even though
is that the Guinness Blonde? Is that what the American Lager is?
The Guinness American Blonde Lager or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
I know in some markets it's just Guinness Blonde.
But either way, I've heard good things about it. I've heard it's actually decent, like way better than Guinness Dark Lager or whatever the fuck.
Didn't they bring out a Guinness West Indies Pale Ale as well, or something like that?
I think it was West Indies Porter, and
could be, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a limited market thing. Like they had 2 different, I think, porters they released, West Indies and some other one. They were also getting good reviews too. Like they were apparently like way above the usual stuff.
Yeah, I heard a couple of good reviews about that Porter one actually. Sorry, I meant Porter.
But I've seen good reviews of this blonde lager too. So I speculated that it'll come into Canada as Guinness Blonde, and
if it comes into Canada,
yeah.
Well, it probably will if it does good. It'll just take another year or 2.
Yeah,
like the Dark Lager took like 2 years to hit us.
But I think the Dark Lager's pretty much all but died out, isn't it? It's like
we still have it as one of our beers on the craft wallet at my LCBO.
Oh yeah, very very good, very good.
I'm pretty sure we still have Guinness Black Lager here.
I only had to buy it once and it was garbage. So Jesus.
See, I didn't mind it. I just didn't like the price.
It was a watered down Schwartz beer. It was like terrible. I mean, why would you buy that when you could buy Stonehammer Stonehammer Dark? Like
back then you could get the Cameron's 266, which was actually really good too.
Yeah, superior beers to that, like totally superior to those. Or you can just buy Dark Helmet from fucking Bose.
Yeah. Or Silversmith's Black Lager.
Yeah, there you go. That's an awesome black lager.
That's the best black lager I've ever had. I just hate buying bottles of it. I'll go and drink a pint of it every chance I get, but I don't like to buy bottles of it.
So is Guinness bottles brewed in Ireland? Because it says brewed in Ireland when I get the bottles here.
Yes.
Yeah, it's brewed in St. James's Gate, Dublin.
Yep.
Okay. So and the cans are as well?
Yes.
Do we get here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
If you're outside of if you're anywhere in Canada and outside of the Maritimes, the Guinness Extra Stout, just the regular Extra Stout, is still brewed by Labatt.
Yeah, Labatt, yeah.
And I'm guessing, I guess until next February, the U.S. Extra Stout is still brewed by Moosehead.
Yeah.
Have you had the Foreign Extra Stout by Guinness?
Oh yes.
What you think?
That's the way to go right there. If you're going to buy a Guinness product, the best Guinness product out there.
One of the best beers. Yes.
And can you get that easily over there?
If I was to cross into the U.S., I could get it very simply.
This is the one Joe sent me. I wasn't too bad.
They sell that in the supermarkets here.
I wish I could get that on a regular basis, that foreign extra. Nice.
So it just pisses me off because there's Guinness, like how we say Budweiser and those companies, if they wanted to, they could make the best beers in the world. Guinness also has the facilities where they could make the best porters and stouts in the world if they actually wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, they make this beautiful beer in the form of the foreign extra stout, and yet we can't fucking get it.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Diageo has the fucking copyright on the nitro widget, and they don't use it in everything.
Yeah, would that be awesome to use it in every beer they made?
At least to try every beer as a nitrogen beer. You know what? Hey, here's some IPA that we make. Here's the IPA with a nitrogen widget.
Oh, an IPA with a nice creamy nitrous head. That would be wow.
Yeah, just as an option.
Yeah. Like, how much would it cost them to dump some pieces of plastic in a can? Like, honestly, how much would it cost them to do that?
Nothing. Lots of label space is highly explosive. There's a whole paragraph on the back. Don't fuck with it. They might hiss at you.
I remember the very first time I had bought one, and I was shaking it after it was empty, and it was rattling. And I remember you're reading on the back, "Don't tamper with the widget," this and that. What's the first thing you do when you've had that for the first time? You rip that fucking can open to find out what's inside it.
You cut her open and look.
Ping pong.
What the fuck is this thing? This piece of shit made this beer so awesome. What the fuck?
I remember how disappointed I was when they took the widgets out of the bottles.
Oh yeah, the bottle thing was like, yeah, that was just sort of a fad. Like they were like, hey, let's market this as, you don't even pour it in a glass. You just have the bottles of Guinness and drink it at a bar and shit. Like, weird.
Well, I never found a substantiated report of it, but the rumor was that it ended up taking the widget out of the bottle because one person choked on a widget.
Natural selection.
I think that's an urban legend. That must be
that's what I said. I've never been able to substantiate it, but that was the rumor out there on the street.
I couldn't see it. The widget's too big. Come out of the fucking nozzle. The neck.
Oh, I think that was the whole game they were saying, was one widget wasn't made the right size.
Yeah, I call bullshit. That's just another urban legend. That's just fucking bullshit, I think. Pop rocks and Coke, kind of thing.
But we all know that Mentos and Diet Coke actually does have a reaction.
It does.
That will kill you. That will be right out of your ass.
So I got 25 Carolina Reaper peppers upstairs. I think I might make a Carolina Reaper beer for next year.
Just don't pour it over your head this time.
Yeah, you ass.
Of all beers to do that with.
That was such a waste of a good beer, too.
Oh, according to Nick, it was.
There was an article that was just posted by, was it Todd the Beer Dude just shared it on Facebook here, and I'm reading it, and it's talking about how they're looking at passing a new craft beer laws in PEI to allow breweries to brew beers stronger than 6.5% ABV. I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had that law.
Yeah.
Wow.
6.5. That's low.
Wait, how strong is the 17 whatever from Gahan?
I think that's like 6 or 6.5 or something.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's around that ballpark.
Where was that, Nick, you're saying?
It's in PEI. Prince Edward
Island, yeah.
Well, what Ontario's is, I think, 14% is the limit.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't even know
you actually have limits there on the ABV you can have in your beer.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know.
Make some pretty strong beers in New Brunswick. I don't think we have that kind of regulation.
Nova Scotia. I don't even know what Nova Scotia's one is.
Actually, one of the reasons that there is a limit on the ABV of beers in Ontario is because of Trafalgar.
Really?
Yeah, they actually made the three strongest beers in Ontario. They made the Corruptor, the Black Bullet, and the Critical Mass, and they were like 16, 17, and 18% alcohol,
And
respectively.
they made that law because they actually tasted Trafalgar's beers, and they're like, "Fuck this shit."
And actually, back then the law was that you could make them as high as you wanted, but they had to be in small bottles. So they had little 200 milliliter bottles of each of them, or 233 or something, like the same size as the mini Coronas, the Coronitas.
Oh yeah.
And then they made it so that you couldn't make it to that ABV anymore, but you could put it in whatever size you want. And then that's why you start seeing things like 650s of 15% alcohol beer, well, 14% alcohol beer.
You know, if it's a good beer and it's that high in percentage, I don't mind the smaller bottles, honestly. Like, have it like a 330 or even like a 285 or something like that. Like, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I went into Trafalgar. The first time I went into Trafalgar, they had like 6 of each bottle on display. And I'm like, can you buy those? And that's like a year after the law came into effect. And he's like, no, I can't sell them. And it's before he started hating me too, but we talked about them for a while.
It's odd that you can buy a 40-ounce bottle of rye at 40%, and nobody says anything.
It's because it's all this nanny state stuff, right? They think that you're going to buy your bottle of beer. Well, they know that if you buy a bottle of beer, you're drinking it all right then. Where they figure you buy a bottle of rye, you're going to drink 1 or 2 shots, drink some more the next day. And then there's people like me or Lee or other such that would drink that whole bottle of rye.
Oh, come on now. Don't be fucking lumping me in with you fucking alcoholic.
Speaking of high ABV, Beer Zerker, can you still get Everclear in Alberta?
I don't think so.
Wow.
I haven't seen it, but I mean, maybe I don't shop for that kind of thing. But I'll look and I'll let you know.
That's grain alcohol, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like 95%. I still got like half a bottle of it that I brought back from when I lived out there 8 years ago. So.
Well, I've seen it, but everyone brings it back from Montana, eh?
Oh yeah.
You know, so I don't know if it's. I think you have to go across the line for it.
Fucking Everclear. I'd use that as fucking like window cleaner or something, for fuck's sake. So.
I was using it for record cleaner. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Greg's here. What was that Irish booze that is like 95%?
Poaching.
Yeah, I was going to say my dad has a bottle of it. It's like 97% or something. I had a shot of that and I thought I was going to die.
Irish
I've
moonshine.
got 5 liters of it in the other room.
Wow.
Yikes.
What's the difference between that and moonshine? Just the you use potatoes or something?
No, it is moonshine.
Yeah.
That's okay. Evaporates off your tongue and
No,
burns clear.
poaching is basically the Gaelic or Irish term. Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, poaching could be made from potatoes, grain. It's whatever was cheap at the time. There's no one fixed recipe for it.
Ireland used to put Appalachia to shame as far as moonshining goes. Like that's before their whiskey industry actually got established.
Big time, big time.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
No, it was some strong stuff. My dad was like,
Yeah,
My
but
dad was like frozen. Yeah.
you wouldn't normally drink it at 95% though, Chad.
well, my
He's gone again.
my dad wanted to show that he could outdrink me in something because I beat him in everything else. So
Right.
he's like, here's this, drink this. And yeah, I took 1 shot and I'm like, yeah, you're a fucking asshole. And I didn't drink another thing with him that night. I walked away. I'm done.
Your dad sounds like my dad.
All right, Bylog says, I won't be buying the limit of Skeleton Key as it's supposedly $13 a bottle and I've never tried it. Despite Bellwood's reputation, I have tried some of their
You know
pricey
what?
beers.
Actually, Greg, can you grab me 2 bottles? Not you, Bylog. Can you grab me 2 bottles of it then? I'll put 1 away for May when the guys are here.
Okay, so that's, yeah, he says, if anyone wants a bottle, send me a PM and I'll see what I can do. So, yeah, there you go. There you go, Greg. Just get Chad 2 bottles, I guess.
And I'll put 1 away for when Lee and all the other.
Put one away for the next beer fest.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I fucking freeze again? Why wouldn't I freeze again? Why wouldn't I? I'll put it away for when Lee and everybody is here in May.
Yeah. Okay, winter is coming. Says drinking some Mill Street Belgian Wit tonight. Not sure what to think. I know what to think. It's weak sauce. So
I think their Belgian Wit is one of the beers that has the most inconsistency of all their beers. Because there
Really?
are some times where you'll get it and you actually get that orange peel and you get that coriander and everything else. And then there's sometimes you'll get it and it tastes like a fucking corn soda. And it just seems to go back and forth between that because they usually put it in their mix packs. So you get it and you drink it and you're like, why? Why did you put this in here? And then you'll drink it and you'll be like, hey, this is back to the way I remember it. And then you'll buy it again and you'll see it as a single on the shelf and you'll go, oh, that was good in that mix pack. And you'll pick it up and it'll be fucking corn again. You're like, what the fuck?
And raining on your parade says Guinness 4 and extra stout nitro cans. That would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. That's something they should look into, honestly. It'd be cheaper for them. They'd put the widget in, have it in a can instead of selling in bottles. Yeah.
I'd pay like $6 a can for that shit.
Yeah, that would be a good price point for it, I think. Be about a 473 milliliter can over here, or maybe a 500 milliliter. $6. Yeah, I'd do that for 4 and extra stout. Yeah.
Like that.
Well, what's regular Guinness? It's like $3 a can, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
$3.50. I've started buying if I'm going to buy Guinness, even if I just want one can. I started buying it in the like 8 and 12 packs because it's cheaper by the can.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, as you go up.
Let's see here. That's not the one I'm looking for. You fucking bitch. Oh, come on, Internet.
Oh, Kirkland's IPA is really weak.
Is it?
Yeah, that's pretty bland.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a hop explosion.
Yeah, I can't even buy Guinness in single cans anymore. I have to buy like either the 4 packs or the 8 packs.
Chad,
Or I can get to
sorry,
I was just gonna say, or I can get to the Irish Discovery pack. No, we got those back again.
What's in them?
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
Is it still just the regular Kilkenny and?
Yeah, it's Guinness, Kilkenny, Harp, and whatever else.
Schmidtwick's?
Yes, Smithwick's. Yeah.
That's a good
Schmidtwick.
pack.
Double D. Chad, what was that beer that you posted there last week? You were looking for somebody in St. Cat's to pick it up?
Oh, the Flying Monkeys Paranormal Pumpkin Beer. Jared actually picked me up. Jared grabbed me a bottle of it, so I owe him the money for it. He was driving through.
Okay.
He was driving through St. Catharines to go to a bottle share.
Yeah, I was just going to ask my buddy, would he pick it up? Yeah, he would have sent it on to you.
The Duchette's on the chat. He said you can get Everclear in Quebec as Global Alcool 94 or some such. Buddy of mine uses it to make limoncello, and once you finish it, ends up still strong but tasty apparently.
I've heard you can use it for rocket fuel too. Everybody went quiet for a second.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just reading a comment. That's all, just one. And it was from Infidel, and it was that Shoe Nice drinks 190 proof moonshine on YouTube, and he thinks the video is real. I don't know. I don't know enough about the guy. It might be real, but if it is, that guy has some serious throat control, because the stuff that he chugs is stuff that shouldn't be able to be chugged by many people without almost dying afterwards.
Oh, that Shoe Nice guy's a fucking fraud. He's just a big fucking dumbass. Fame whore.
There's a lot of big very famous YouTubers that I watch, and a lot of them I find to be fairly fraudulent. Of all of them, though, I think he's the one that does some of the real stuff. I mean, like LA Beast, for instance. That guy sometimes angers me with his videos. Like when he was doing the bicycle pump in the bottle, and oh, I've got myself vapor high. You have to boil your alcohol to get the alcohol vapors out that will make you high and drunk without drinking it. But that's whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, the only ones I really watch anyway are Cult Moo and Reckless Eating. So
I've watched some Shoe Nice stuff. I've watched some Shoe Nice stuff. Some stuff was obviously real, and some stuff I was on the fence with, and some stuff I'm watching going, yeah, that's not real. But you'll find it all the time. I mean, people have watched my videos and thought the same thing. Like I've already been called out 6 times for my Carolina Reaper video because I didn't die. I'm holding it in my hand. You watch me put it in my mouth. You watch me chew it. I sat here talking for 10 minutes.
What was that white pepper that you ate there the other day, Chad?
Oh, that was a white ghost pepper.
Yeah. What was that like?
Very mild. I don't know if that pepper's supposed to be that way or if the guy that grew it for me didn't grow it properly. It was fairly mild. But I'm going to make
You do like hot sauces too.
Oh yeah, I make hot sauce reviews. I make hot sauce, period, and do pepper stuff too every once in a while. But I have a baggie full of those white. Did I freeze?
Yep.
I have a baggie full of the white ghost pepper. So what I'm going to do is make an albino death sauce that's actually completely white. So I'll just use garlic, onions, probably some apple cider vinegar and some white wine vinegar. The peppers, maybe some white peppercorn, but I'll boil them first so that I make sure to get any of the husk specks off that are still there.
Mind if I ask you a question real quick? How hard is it to actually grow those peppers, bearing in mind the weather that we have here in Ireland? I assume they'd have to be grown inside?
Well, you could grow them outside here in Canada, so I mean...
Yeah, but your weather's probably hotter than ours, though, Chad.
Well, how much rain do you have? That's the big thing.
Every second day.
Yeah,
You're good.
You'd have to grow them inside then.
They're just like tomatoes.
I mean, you could grow them outside, but you're going to lose a lot of heat because of the water. You really kind of want to almost want to make them die of thirst before you water them.
So do you have to have like UV or infrared lamps and shit like that?
You could probably
Good
just
drainage, lots of sun. Like a tomato, right? Good drainage, lots of sun, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I'm doing my my planting boxes in my front yard, which is pissing off my neighbors already because they don't want me to do it. And I'm like, my backyard is for my kids, my front yard's wasted space. I'm doing my planters on the front yard, and I'm going to be growing mostly things that have to be harvested, not you just walk up and pull them all, so that people aren't going to steal it without getting caught by either myself or my dogs. But I will be doing a lot of super hot peppers up there, because if you want to come and steal a fucking Trinidadian scorpion pepper or something from me, you be my guest, buddy.
Yeah, grab it. Rub it all over your hands, motherfucker.
Nice big, and I actually have some seeds from the Carolina Reapers, so I'm going to have a couple good plants there too.
So you've tried Dave's Insanity then, right?
Oh, fucking yeah.
That's
Dave's Insanity is nothing, man. Nothing.
You know, it's just back in the day our art teacher used to pass it out on toothpicks to everybody, and we gag people with it and get them to take a big mouthful of it and shit, and then watch them die. But yeah, I know there's better stuff out there.
I remember when I was first learning about hot sauce and how it works. Guy came up with a hot sauce thing because he knew that I liked hot sauces, and he had it in a jug. It was some hot sauce that was made by. This is when I lived in Brayside, so outside of Arnprior, and he had a bunch of Jamaican farmers on his farm, and Jamaican farm workers that came from Jamaica, and they made this hot sauce, and he had it in this little container. And he's like, "Try this." So I stuck my finger in, being an idiot. It's pretty good. It's hot, but it's good. Go away. About 2 hours later, I go for a piss. Yeah. Yeah. dick on fire. Dick on fire. It was like I instantly got gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis all at the same time. Just bang, flames everywhere. I'm sitting in class doing this, and the teacher's like, "What? My dick is burning." And he just looks at me, he's like, "What?" Said it again. I was, this was like OAC, so grade 13 for us, and he was looking at me, he goes, "Why? Why?" And I told him, he goes, "You're a flippin' idiot," and just sat back down and ignored me. Let me whimper for the rest of the class. I'm lucky that I was who I was, because in high school I actually had some pull, and I could scream things at my teacher, like my dick is burning, and not get kicked out of class.
Because of the wrestling, was it?
Wrestling, football, rugby, all that stuff, yeah.
Winter's coming says Mad Tom or Twice as Mad Tom. He picked up the Hoptorial Taster Pack tonight, first time having both. So which one do you want to try?
That's another beer that seems to have some inconsistencies. I don't know if they're having problems sourcing out enough of the hops that they normally use, but from the 4 different bottles of each I've had, I'd go Twice as Mad Tom. I know that I'm not as big of double IPA guy, but the hops that they were using in that were more to my palate than the regular Mad Tom. And everybody else says nothing. Nobody else has had it.
I've only seen the Mad Tom.
Mad Tom, I assume that's a Canadian beer, is it, Chad? Or guys?
Yeah, it's from Muskoka, so Bracebridge, Ontario.
No, the reason I ask is because there's a UK beer over here. It's called Old Tom. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've heard of it, yeah.
I've heard of Old Tom, yeah. That's the one with the cat on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was the same brewery or something, sorry.
No, with Twice as Mad Tom, I've had that. I didn't even think it was all that good, honestly. Maybe I had a bad batch or something. I don't know.
See, and there comes one of the things, right? I talk about and Paul from Railway City, when he was angry at me when I was talking about value for your money with his double IPA. I talk about how the OCB should really have a quality portion to it, more than just you're brewing with real ingredients. They really should have a quality portion of it, because this inconsistency can really hurt a brewery too, and it can hurt the name of the OCB when there's so much inconsistency. I know it's going to happen because they can't get the exact same crops each and every time, but it shouldn't go from being a really good beer to a horrible beer to an okay beer to a really good beer again to a horrible beer to a really good beer again. You shouldn't have that many jumps.
Sounds like Propeller's double IPA last year.
Yeah, like with a craft brewery, I mean, that's one of the things is you're generally going to have some sort of inconsistency between batches, ever so slight. But if you're having major inconsistencies, then there's a major problem that needs to be fixed somewhere.
Yeah, I've just seen their Mad Tom. That's all out here. It was good. I tried it. It was okay, but that's all I've had from them.
I think about a craft brewery is think of it as just a bigger version of a home brewer. You're going to have the same sort of inconsistencies and problems, but you know yourself, if you're brewing a batch of beer and something goes completely belly up, you know there's an issue that needs to be addressed. You shouldn't be having that issue all the time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I mean,
and you shouldn't bottle it and sell it as a sour.
You know what?
Get away with it.
I'm okay with that if the beer is still okay to be sold as a sour. I mean, there are like Silversmith Strong Wrong Lambic #1. That was a version of their what the fuck was it? It was their Funds Over Dunkel. Their Funds Over Dunkel got infected.
It obviously got infected with breath.
Why do I have this? Why do I have this internet? Anyway, the Funds Over Dunkel from Silversmith got infected and it soured, and that's what the Strong Wrong Lambic #1 was. But it actually was still a good beer. It hadn't gone to apple cider vinegar or anything like that. It had just soured off and went a little off. Good beer. I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm not okay with the price they charged for it, because it was going to be a $6 pint bottle, but now that it's soured, it's a $11 pint bottle.
Okay, fuck that.
But yeah, what Dark Horse did was, here's a bottle of beer that went so bad that you can't even drink it. Let's sell it as a sour.
Yeah.
Bet you they still sold it, though.
Oh, they sold it.
Oh yeah, they took advantage of the beer geek market. Oh, we got our new sour here, boys.
That's what I mean. I mean, when it comes to talking about quality control and all of that, I think an awful lot of that is down to us as craft beer drinkers as well.
Well, and like I said earlier, I don't think at this point in time, with the way the craft beer market has exploded in North America, how it's exploding in Europe, it's even exploding in friggin' Africa. I mean, how the craft beer movement is starting to explode, I don't think we're here as much for pushing you to drink craft beer as saying, drink this because it's good, or don't drink this because it's bad. And that's something a brewery has to get used to. We're no longer, and even at the beginning, I wasn't blindly following a brewery. Oh, you're a craft brewery, drink them. But a brewery has to get used to the fact that now there are people coming out and saying, there's so much competition, why is this on the shelf?
Yeah. Like, we've become the quality control in effect now.
Yeah. Mom and Hops. Mom and Hops is a blog here in Ontario, or Ontario Beer. They have a live counter on all the breweries that open up. And this is nano, micro, and contract. Ontario is at 242 as of today. 242 breweries as of today, and people wonder why there's now a big talk on value and quality. Because there's 242 breweries to choose from. You might not see it unless you're in that area, but there's still 242 breweries to choose from. You might have like 5 breweries close to you, and then 6 or 7 different breweries from those 5 that you can get at your LCBO and a couple at the beer store. And now it matters what you're making and what price you're selling it at.
Like you were talking earlier about problems with cash flow and distribution and stuff. So if there's just a bunch of, like, if these guys just turn into sort of like brew pubs, is that kind of better? Just to keep it a lot more local and smaller scale is like maybe a better plan for a lot of these guys.
I know. I think that's a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah. That was my idea, right? Like, I don't want to try and brew beer and
here's the thing.
cover under all these issues.
Here's the thing a lot of people don't realize either with when you're opening up a brewery, at least here in Ontario, and it's the same in a lot of provinces, not all of them, but a lot of provinces. Whether you are a 1-barrel system or a 600-barrel system, you need to have all the exact same hookups. You need to have the same water hookup. You need to have the same sewage hookup. That's where a lot of your cost is coming. So you're a 1-barrel system brewing 1 keg at a time, so you're brewing maybe 100 pints at a time.
And
you need to put in the same amount of money into opening up your brewery as Anheuser-Busch needs to put in to open up one.
So you're basically saying you might be only brewing 1 barrel, but you still have to have the same utilities as a bigger brewery.
Yeah, well, that was the problem that Brimstone had. The reason Brimstone took 2 years to open was they needed all the exact same things as the big guys would need.
Mm-hmm. Didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, we got a brewery opening up in Lethbridge.
Yeah.
And it's they're gonna do lagers and stuff. And I thought, oh great. So I was trying to get a hold of them, and they're all busy. Like, I don't know what the hell they're going through. But I'm looking at their construction site, and it's massive. Like you're saying, like I was like, what is this necessary? Like, they're going all out. Like I guess they have to.
Like, the problem Brimstone had was they needed the same sewage hookup as Anheuser-Busch, Nickelbrook, anybody would need. They needed the same water hookup. They needed the same line checked spaces. They needed the same ladders going down into the sewage systems. Like, they have to pay for all of that themselves. They had to have the street ripped up so that they could have a water line ran to them that was big enough. They had to have all the different vents going out, and they were just a 1-barrel system.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's tragic. Like, holy shit.
There's just so many things. Like, people always go, Chad, why don't you open your own brewery? Because I don't want to deal with that. I get angry enough right now trying to organize a beer festival. That pisses me off enough. Just jumping through hoops to get a beer festival going.
Also, plus the fact you don't have $2 million to spare.
Yeah.
Jumping through the hoops to get a beer festival pisses me off. What do you think would happen when I have 6,000 pages of red tape to go through? I'd stab somebody. I'd literally stab somebody.
Yeah.
Just not worth it, really.
Let's see here. See, Greg says, holy shit, where'd all these new comments come from? Fuck, all of a sudden the fucking comment system's working properly. That's awesome. That's great. Let's see. Jesus. Jason Spears is on here. He says, hi everyone, just popping in for a few minutes. Got to hit the hay early tonight. He says the 1772 from Gahan is 6.5, so that's at their previous limit there before they are upping it. Greg Bylog says that might explain why Amsterdam Double Tempest was being advertised as 15% on Twitter, Facebook, but the bottle says 14%.
Yeah, get around the law.
Yeah. Ride Flat 43 says, cheers, I keep getting invites for the Wednesday show, but usually work on vacation this week, though. Well, thanks for joining us, sir.
That's Ride Flat. Good to have you.
Yeah. Bylog says Polish Spiritus is up to 98% ABV, depending on which country you buy it in. I've taken a shot of it. It burned. He also says, that's true, I've had an amazing Mill Street Wit and a terrible Mill Street Wit. Fairly close together. You've had an amazing Mill Street Wit. I challenge that assertion, sir. I can't see that beer being amazing, even if it's just.
We'll buy you 60 bottles of it, and that's all you get to drink when you're here, until you find an amazing one.
That sounds like a great deal. That sounds awesome. Ride Flat 40. Let's see. Greg also says he's been to Ireland before, and he remembers seeing palm trees. He didn't see those in Ontario. And Ride Flat 43 says Dollahan has a cool-looking dog. Is that an Irish Shepherd?
No, it's a white German Shepherd.
White German Shepherd.
Yeah, he only got it because he likes me so much.
Right.
That's right, Chad.
My wife wants me to get an albino pug.
Oh, she's not actually albino, though.
Just
We
saying,
can't all be that cool.
I know. It's not even dogs. This cup just holds 650. Oh, I just spilled some. Now it's 640.
What's everybody drinking right now?
I just poured an entire bottle of pumpkin into my glass, and it smells so divine. I actually went out to the LCBO today and I bought one pumpkin because I had one, so I bought one more to replace it because I knew I was going to drink this tonight. So I bought my one pumpkin, 2 Warlocks, 2 Elemental Porters, and then 2 beers that I haven't had yet. 2 coolers I haven't had because there was no beer I hadn't had.
Lee, what are you sucking? Sorry. Go ahead.
Fuller's London Porter.
So the fuck is that?
That was either Chad's. That was either Chad's chair or that was his arse. One or the other.
I'm still on my Kirkland IPA.
Nice.
Oh, that good, eh? Just
savoring.
Just savor, yeah.
I was actually going to buy. I was going to buy a Trafalgar product tonight because I actually reviewed it a few nights ago and it was actually really good. And I almost picked up a couple more. You know, it was a mead.
Oh, yeah, big surprise there.
It was Trafalgar's Niagara.
Niagara frozen mead.
Ice mead.
Niagara Peach.
Ew, fuck that. No thanks.
So, no mint, no peach.
Nope, no mint, no peach. Fuck those, both of them. Fuck them right up their asses.
You don't like to get your face up to a peach and just...
That's a different kind of peach.
What's that Canadian beer, or I know is it a Quebecois beer, or what is Beer de Lèche or Beer de Pêche? It comes in like a 650ml bottle.
Mortel?
That's the one.
Dew de Sil. Yeah, that's fortified, sugar enhanced stout, right?
It's like 2.5% or something like that.
made with vanilla or something, isn't it? Or is that the one with coffee? I think it's
No, the one I'm thinking of is something stupid like 2.5% ABV.
Oh no.
Martel. Blanche Martel's an imperial stout.
No, it's not that. It's not a stout. Definitely not a stout. It's more like a cooler.
Huh.
Radler or something?
No, no, it's a sugar-enhanced beer of some sort, but like a mild.
No.
I thought you meant the Pesh or whatever. Pesh, whatever, the girl on the cover. That's higher. That's not 2.
Yeah.
No, I remember. I'll have a look for it now.
Did Unibrew do an Ephemera Peach?
Oh,
I don't think. I don't know if they've done an Ephemera Peach.
I don't think they've done a peach. They've done a cranberry and an apple and a blackberry.
I've had the blackcurrant, the cranberry, and the apple.
God damn son of a bitch, open up.
That's what I say to my wife every once in a while. Not son of a bitch.
Sorry.
So I'm drinking Weinstefaner. I can finally get it here, so I'm happy.
It's a half, eh? Yeah.
I'm drinking real Canadian spring water.
Ooh. Fancy. What's the ABV on that?
0.01.
Great, it's not tap water.
Well, it's because I peed in the toilet that they got it out of.
That's great.
It's recycling, man.
Your pee is definitely not 0%.
No, but when you add it with the toilet water.
Dilutes it.
Stone is launching distribution parties
Fuck.
in Alberta.
Yeah.
On Lethbridge, yep. I got the list. I'm Andrew Hilton, so hopefully I'll get some.
Let's get Lee going. How about David Chang there?
Fuck that fat piece of shit.
Okay.
That Asian asshole.
What the hell?
Motherfucker.
You guys all have but not me.
Motherfucking goddamn shit beer apologists saying, "Oh, I don't like this fancy craft beer. I'd rather drink these really shitty macro beers because that's the sort of stuff I like, and I don't like these snobby fucking craft beer drinkers." But at the same time, he shits on craft beer and innovation, but he's sitting there making his Asian infusion dishes at his fucking restaurants that are overpriced. When just really good Asian food is at a decent price you can get anywhere. Fuck you, you stupid asshole.
You're a whore.
Guy's a fucking moron.
Hold on.
I don't know anything about what was. I don't know the story. What are you talking about?
Just fucking fairly famous chef kind of guy. He made basically like a macro beer apologist post.
He goes off about snobs and all styles, but he's going off he's making all of his money off of food snobs that are going in and paying big money for his ramen noodles.
Yeah.
All right, but he doesn't want to pair it with craft beer because it's too expensive or something.
Well, he's saying it's like he prefers to drink shitty beer because that's the stuff he grew up with and all this other horse shit. And he's like he thinks all craft beer is just a bunch of snobby assholes trying to pretend they're better than everybody, and it's like the guy's a fucking hypocrite, like hardcore fucking hypocrite, and he's an ass.
Hardcore foodies are.
I found it at beer. It's Lindemann. Sorry.
Oh, Lindemann's Pesh. Okay, yeah, that's a Belgian beer.
Sorry.
Interesting.
Are they the wine people? The Lindemann's wine?
No, it's a brewery.
It may be the same family because it's
Might be, yeah.
it's a big Belgian family brewery, but so they might have it might be the same family, just offshoots of it.
Why the hell make a beer at 2.5% though? That's my question.
Well, that's a lambic, right? It's a wild fermented beer, so it's just out in its bin, and it's just the wild fauna yeasts that ferment it.
Holy
So
shit.
they don't make it at a very high ABV.
All right.
That's even lighter than like a fucking patter beer or whatever from a Trappist monastery. Usually those are around like what 3% or something, right?
Yeah, well, the thing you find with a lot of lambics is you're going to find them ranging anywhere from 2% up to like 5, and each year the percentage will be different because as much as they try to keep it the same, it's not always the
Yeah,
same.
Lambic is a sour, right?
Well, a lambic is wild fermentation.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're opening yourself up to high variation.
Like Lindemann's Framboise. I usually love Lindemann's Framboise, and it hit the stores here in Ontario this year, and I bought 2 bottles of it because I love it. I'm like, yeah, this year's is here in Ontario for once. I don't have to get it from the States. So I bought 2 bottles of it at $9.95 a bottle because the lambics are expensive too somehow, even though you're not doing any work. It's doing it all for you. But you grab your 2. I grabbed my 2 bottles, put them up on the counter, bought them, got home, sat down, and then somebody had told me this year sucked because it didn't come out sweet enough, so they added sweetener to it. And I'm looking at it,
Oh.
sure enough, artificial sweeteners and everything in there, and I poured it. It made my tongue go funny and all that, and now I'm pissed off at that second bottle.
Fuck them! I would never buy from them again if they did that shit. Jesus.
I can't even handle open fermentation. That shit's usually pretty gross. It tastes like garbage water. In my opinion,
So what you should tell the people that are doing open fermentation to make sure a woman with a yeast infection is nowhere near it.
Yeah, no kidding. Fuck. What about wine open fermented? I like it.
Open fermentation, I mean, you must have some success stories. I mean, half the Belgian breweries out there wouldn't have started if you couldn't be done right.
Well, yeah, I think all the strains probably happened. We've all captured them that way.
Yeah.
But, so you're kind of going back to the beginnings. Well, I'm not saying it's all bad. I mean, some things are good. I just don't like oxidized stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I suppose you're taking a huge risk, all right, doing it.
Oh yeah, flies and
Well,
shit.
you get all.
Hey man, they used to have rats in Guinness long ago.
Yeah.
You
ever hear that?
Get flies
Ever
if
hear
they
that
put
story,
cheesecloth over it.
What?
I was just saying you won't really get the flies if you put cheesecloth over it.
No.
Yeah, true. We don't have rats in Alberta.
No, back when they used to brew, I suppose 50 years ago, whatever, or 100 years ago, in the Guinness brewery, the rats used to fall into the huge vats of Guinness, and they just basically left them in it.
Ew. Made it extra stout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's what it is.
So the story goes, anyway.
We got rat killing police out here, and they fucking kill the fuck out of rats, man.
Yeah, plenty of rabbits out there though.
Rabbits, yeah, but they don't.
Rabbits?
When I went to Vancouver, man, it was gross, man. They're all in the dumpsters and shit. I'd never seen that shit before. I left Alberta, man. Rats are fucking sick.
Come to Niagara Falls, it's rats and skunks and coyotes.
It's
got rhinos there.
It's especially distressing when you see rats the size of like fucking small dogs running around. Like,
Holy hell, man, that is scary.
Fucking huge. They're nasty.
it's like it starts to get like fucking food of the gods size fucking things running around. It's like, I ain't fucking with that motherfucker.
You will. You'll fuck with it.
Fuck you. Bylog says, that's why I generally don't buy beer from any of the Niagara-on-the-Lake breweries. From my experience, so-so beer for prices that are worse than Toronto.
Yeah, the prices in Niagara-on-the-Lake are ridiculous. And it's because it's Niagara-on-the-Lake. And that's why I kept talking about a bubble from the Niagara region when Ewart and Aaron were talking to us about all the breweries that are opening up there. There is going to be 6 breweries in Niagara-on-the-Lake, 5 of them on the same street. 5 of them are going to be so overpriced it's not funny, and one of those 5 is going to specialize in just sours, so it's going to be even more expensive. And, I mean, they make some good beers. There are some good beers there. I mean, the Black Lager is great. Some of the beers that Silversmith makes are great. Some of them are so-so. Some of the beers that Osthaus makes are great. Some of them are so-so. But the prices on all of them are the same prices you would be paying for KBS or Parabola or BCBS and all that sort of stuff. Like, you're paying premium prices for this stuff because it's in tourist wine central.
Yeah.
Okay.
Winter's Coming asks, any idea when or if Muskoka's winter beer comes out this year?
It's always like between late November to beginning of January when it starts hitting all the different shelves. But that's if they even put it out, because they like to just make their batches now and hold them for years until they're ready to be aged and sold for double the price. Like this year at the brewery, you'll probably see like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013 winter beards.
I know it's a bit off topic now, real quick. Did you hear anything about Beamish have stopped selling in the UK?
No.
No, okay. I heard a nasty rumor about that the other day. I was just wondering why.
I haven't seen Beamish in the longest time. Like they were briefly in Nova Scotia for like a year, like years and years ago. We used to get Beamish and then it just disappeared.
Yeah, it's pretty popular down around here now. Beamish and Guinness mostly.
I think we even got Murphy's at one point.
You
No,
know
I don't
what?
like
Because he's Irish, Greg's in charge of the chat while I go upstairs to take a poop.
Oh, sounds like a plan.
I think Max
I'm
was
not don't put me in charge, man.
Yeah. It's actually a poop this time.
That's right, folks. Live hangout, no editing. Watch the replay, hear about the poop.
Yeah. Next time we'll get him a
No mention of
GoPro.
poop so far. What's wrong?
Next time we'll get him a GoPro so you can have a play-by-play action. Or a
Yeah.
flash
Nick, what part of Canada are you from?
I'm from New Brunswick, the East Coast. I'm not far away from Lee, actually.
Cool.
I mean,
Yeah, he's about. You would be about if you did a straight shot on the highway, you'd be about 6 hours, 7 hours.
It's like 5.5 hours to Digby, I think, from here.
Yeah.
I got family over there. So. But yeah, it's East Coast. Not quite as in as good a beer territory as what Rhino's got, but our local liquor store, New Brunswick NB Liquor, has been doing really well this year for getting interesting stuff in. Like,
You seem to be able to get quite a good. Sorry, Lee. You seem to be able to get quite a good varied range of beers over there. I mean, compared to what Lee can get.
Yeah, definitely.
Never used to. It used to be that Lee had all the good shit, and I'd be going down there all the time, like going at least to Amherst on the border to get some good beers for review. But just over this last year, they've just been.
Why is Nova Scotia got so bad though? I mean, is something happened or?
It's not so much that Nova Scotia's bad. It's that New Brunswick's liquor. They're trying to drum up interest, and they're under new management kind of thing. Got a new CEO. They got new people in charge of the beer department, and they're trying to drive up beer sales. And, they're bringing in a fuckload of interesting stuff in the last year. And I mean, I've been practically broke every month this year because they've brought in so many new things.
Yeah, because
I mean, that's Lee. That's kind of good, though, isn't it?
The thing is, in Nova Scotia, our beer sales aren't bad. Like, the New Brunswick Liquor Board has been struggling quite a bit in the last couple of years, so they have been making a big push to get more diversity and stuff. We've actually sort of plateaued almost at this point. Like, we've been just getting increasingly better for several years, and now we sort of plateaued to the point where our beer sales are really, really good, so they don't feel like they need to diversify as much. And also, our liquor commission focuses more on wine than anything else. Like, they're very big on wine. Like, you walk into any liquor store in Nova Scotia, about 60% of the store is dedicated to wine, if not more. So,
well, there's a huge following of wine here, but beer has grown exponentially this last year, and it's awesome.
Yeah. Because when I went up to the beer fest with Nick and we stopped at a New Brunswick liquor store, I was looking at the selection there. I was like, holy shit, you get this, you get that, you get this, you get that. It's like, oh my fuck, you motherfucker. It's like, I saw Red Racer, I saw fucking 17 from Unibrew and all kinds of shit just sitting there. I was like, holy fuck, you had Trooper out the yin-yang.
But I don't think that Trooper. A lot of people didn't think quite as much of that when it came out.
No, it's not great, but I mean, it was still kind of interesting just to see like how much of it was sitting there. We never got any in Nova Scotia.
So, like, where would you have to travel to go to a decent beer town, for want of a better way?
I would probably have to go right to the outskirts of Halifax, the major city in Nova Scotia, to get good beer.
So, like,
Pretty
what
much.
about doing what a lot of people over here in Ireland do, like online?
Can't do it here. It's illegal.
Oh, really?
They're not allowed to sell beer and alcoholic beverages online.
The
No,
club.
I mean-
Well, the
Sorry,
closest,
I mean from actual beer stores. Now, I don't mean just anybody selling it.
yeah, no. The closest we have is actually the two private liquor stores here in Nova Scotia, the Bishop's Cellar and the Premier Wines and Spirits. They do have online sales where they deliver to your door, but
Yeah,
one of
that's
them is only wine and spirits, and I think it's the Bishop's Cellar is they also sell beer. They'll deliver it to you, but
It used to be Premier used to sell lots of different kind of beer, but in the last year or so they've really scaled back how much beer they have.
yeah,
Apparently, Premier Wines and Spirits doesn't have much beer anymore.
they don't. They really don't.
Basically, really, wines and spirits would be bigger than beer in most of Canada, so from what you're saying.
In my province, it definitely is. Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is-
although like macro beers are like very popular here, but
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, Alberta, where I am, has probably the loosest liquor laws. Like, if I go to my beer guy at a specialty private beer store, like, let's say Wine Cavern in Lethbridge, and I say, I want this, if he can get it, and I make it worth his while, he'll get it.
Yeah, I think
Like-
in the case, the Alberta liquor case, Robert, yes, you can bring this in here. And
yeah.
I think you
But
guys.
we still can't get certain things, though. Like, I can't get that Australian beer, Kiss.
What can't-
I can't get Kiss Brewers from Australia, right?
Because like the thing with the NSLC here is like you can order beer through the NSLC. Like you can I want this beer, but it has to be something one of their NSLCs carries. Like you can't just say I want to get this beer from this country. If they don't carry it, you can't fucking get it.
So what you're saying is, so long as there's an NSLC somewhere that sells this beer, you can get it.
Yeah, and even if they have enough of it to send out, right?
Wow.
Then it's limited. So
Brunswick, I've been discovering this recently, but in New Brunswick you can actually get anything that the LCBO carries, except that it has to be bought by the case.
oh shit.
You have to buy like
mentioned that before, yeah.
you have to buy the entire case in order to bring it in.
Well, if you got
And
enough people
in
to join
Ontario-
in
In Ontario, you can get almost anything in the world as long as it passes their label laws and it passes their lab tests. However, you have to buy it by whatever they decide arbitrarily is the amount for that time. Like West Volaterran. You can get West Volaterran at any time in Ontario, but you have to buy 3 cases of it at a time.
Holy shit.
And you have to pay the shipping. You have to pay the shipping, the lab test if it's never been in the country, like in Ontario yet. You're the one that pays for the lab test. So you're doing the shipping, the lab test, and whatever amount of it that they are bringing in, plus their profit on it.
That's a few fucking paychecks right there, for fuck's sakes. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Well, remember way back when the Beeraholic was all over BrewTube, and he contacted me one time, and he's like, I'm ordering Rochefort 10, Saint Bernardus this, Saint Bernardus that. He had a huge list of beers from Belgium he wanted to get. And he's like, you want in on this order? And I'm like, well, how much is the order? And he had 6 guys already in on the order. And it ended up being like something like $600 a person. And I'm like, yeah, no. What do you mean? No, I have a kid and a mortgage and everything? No.
That guy was a fucking dick anyway.
Rich prick.
I'm sorry, I don't have $600 for like
Yeah,
40 years.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous beyond belief.
$600. That's pocket change.
But I'm just putting that out there so you know you can get anything in Ontario as long as you have the money and that beer passes the label laws. So it doesn't have a weird, scary name or weird, scary label or.
Yeah, nothing that will corrupt the pure Christian Ontario people.
So basically, they're not banning it, but they're making it so prohibitively expensive that people actually can't bring it in.
Yeah, one of the things I ask if I'm ever even interested, the first thing I ask is, has anybody ordered this before? And if they say no, I tell them I'm not even interested in hearing the price. Because if nobody's ordered it before, if it's never hit the market before, it's a $200 lab test on top of it.
Ouch.
Fucking ridiculous. Okay,
However,
we do have some.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, go ahead, Greg.
No, however, if you think about it, that if it's a beer that people want and can't get, that does create an opportunity for somebody with the right mind. Right, we need to bring in 3 cases of this, but if we do, it's in then, and we can sell a shit ton of it. I don't mean an individual, but like a beer store or LCBO or whatever. You know?
Oh no, the LCBO won't. If I order in 3 cases, the LCBO isn't going to care. They're not going to order in more just because I ordered 3. And if they find out I'm doing trades and stuff with it, I can get in a lot of shit.
Oh.
Yeah. We got some questions or comments here. Ride Flat says 6.9% Ace Joker cider, very dry, only 3 grams of sugar, and maybe some Milwaukee Best ice.
That's what he's drinking.
Ooh.
And he wants a bowel report apparently.
It was very stinky and still burnt. From
Okay,
the
is
pepper.
this the fucker who used to ask that shit on JTV?
I don't know.
Bruising Pools, is it? What's his name, Lee? What's his name?
Ride Flat 43.
No, I don't know him.
The guy from JTV was Gentle Arts. Gentle Arts.
Yeah, Gentle Arts or Bruising Poos, and he's about 4 different names. I know him.
Winter is coming. Asks random question. Lee, do you hunt? No, I do not hunt. My brother and my dad do though, sometimes successfully. And Ride Flat 43 asks, I work for UPS. I see boxes with liquor, and they always have a label that says, "Do not deliver to an intoxicated person."
So I'm going to take your, UPS, possibly a US guy, because, yeah, you're not technically allowed to deliver liquor through the mail in Canada. There are some exceptions, mostly if you are a distributor and you're sending a package of samples to somebody. That's allowed as long as that person is a reputable person to get samples from, which is why a lot of breweries are trying to get me to get a media license so that I can say I'm a reputable sample person.
Oh, Jesus. They don't know you.
Yeah, and then other than that, then there's a lot of lampshades and lava lamps and snow globes that get shipped around.
Grandma's pickle.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any dry counties out there?
There are still a few dry counties actually. There was one that was just changed, and that was Toronto's Junction. The Junction in Toronto was a dry county until just recently, when the Indie Ale House and Junction Craft Brewery opened up there. Up until then, it was dry, and there's still something like 7 or 8 dry counties across Ontario.
Yeah, I looked online and saw that Alberta and Ontario, I think, are the only ones. Is that true, or do you guys have dry counties too out east, or?
Not that I know of.
We got some south of Lethbridge, eh? Dry towns and shit.
Mm.
Not allowed to have a liquor store. Mormon towns next to Indian reserves, and that's.
Well, it was what was it said on
Basically.
the what was it said on the beer-umentary I had with Steven Ochente? He was talking about that too. When he was first doing his application for his brewery, he's like, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at my paperwork, and one of the check boxes was dry, damp, or wet, and I'm like, well, I'm hoping I'm not buying a wet building. He didn't understand it, but he didn't realize that there was still dry counties in Ontario, and there's wet counties, damp counties, which are some alcohol, but only on certain hours and certain days.
So some of these counties are just slightly moist.
Yeah, slightly moist.
I notice golf courses in these counties and bars and provincial parks get past the laws. But if I tried to open a liquor store, it'd be, oh, fuck you kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Spears says, no dry counties in NS, we're all liquored down east.
I haven't heard of any.
Liquor and red mold, eh? Liquor and red mold.
Is there any dry counties in Newfoundland? No.
Red mold is the standing water mold.
Massive Beer Reviews just popped in. He says, ooh, that smug bitch, David Chang. I could bitch about that fucking GQ article all day. Good thing Garrett Oliver reviewed it. Quite nice. What a douche. That's true.
The guy from Evil Twin did a very good job on it.
Yes, yeah, he did, yeah. He made a very good point. He was the one who brought up that David Chang was bitching about craft breweries and foo-foo beer snobs when his entire market was basically based around foo-foo fucking food snobs. And he was charging high prices for his shitty fucking Asian fusion food.
Yep, ramen noodles.
Yeah, ramen noodles.
Does that relate back to Stone again? Is that what that?
No, not about Stone at all.
It's unrelated?
I mean, if you ask David Chang, he probably doesn't like Stone beers because he's all about drinking the craft beers or the macro beers, but...
I'm obviously out of the loop.
It's not a loop you want to be in, really. It's
okay.
just a bunch of bullshit. Just some asshole fucking chef trying to stir some shit up, and you got smacked down by Garrett Oliver.
It's a publicity shit or something.
Well, yeah, what it was, but
WWE.
Ride Flat says there are dry counties in Wisconsin. I hear he doesn't know about Illinois, though.
Oi!
Oh, shit. We got Paul in here.
Now we're all fucked.
Now we all gotta go.
Yeah.
We all gotta leave. We're all Ewart tonight.
Hey, Paul, how's the Jag? No, he doesn't have a microphone, apparently. His robots are probably beating him up.
His hair is covering his mouth, that's why we can't hear him.
You know what happened? His employer took his speakers away. He can't hear us, so he doesn't know what we're saying.
Oh, there he goes. He pulsated.
He's trying to say so. He's hooking in his headphones to the microphone jack.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you're.
No
How's
idea.
the Jag?
Look good. I'm telling you what. Nothing collects leaves like a Jag. Nothing.
Has it been looked at yet?
No, of course
Has
not.
anyone been... No. I would have figured by now you'd at least want to know what was actually wrong with it.
I ordered parts for it and stuff to take a look at it and change some stuff that I need changed anyway. But other than that, I haven't really done anything to it. What?
I know what was wrong with it. You took it to Canada. That was what's wrong with it.
I know.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I'll
brought it back
never
to the
make that
Commonwealth.
mistake.
Oh, that was the car that broke down.
Yeah, they don't operate in Canada.
Acid it with maple syrup.
Yeah.
Maybe Dullahan can do some parts mail.
See,
There
yeah.
you go.
What Paul didn't realize is there's.
Oh, hold on now, buddy. The Jag is a UK car. You're talking to an Irishman here.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all
They
right.
don't drive them over there, or what?
Yeah.
Only the classy ones.
We can't even get parts for them here. We can't even get a headlight.
we learned that you can't get parts for it
Oh
here.
no, I can get parts from. There's a Jag dealership not 100 miles away from me.
100 miles.
There's actually a Jag dealership in Allentown, which is only an hour down the way from me, but I just haven't got a chance to look at it yet. I've been working on my. I have a second job now, so I've been where I work. I actually work at an auto mechanic place, so I'm going to be taking it at some point in time. And
you don't even know how to pop your trunk.
I do now.
He'll learn that. He's a journeyman. He'll increase his knowledge.
Yeah, I already worked up to a Class B. I'm already on the way.
That's right.
What does a Class B let you do? Is that oil changes?
It lets you sweep the floor. Doing a pretty good job. Oh no, I took apart an engine, changed the I had to take what the hell did I have to take? I had to take the air. I had to take an air intake off, rebuild the seals of that, and then I had to do a brake boost. Change that today. That was a pain in the ass, and an alternator. Shit like that. It's a Class B. Actual stuff, but nothing too crazy. I'll tell you what, working 16 hours a day kind of sucks, though.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I got my first 2 weeks of vacation done today.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have fun? Did you do anything fun?
No, I didn't do anything fun. I had to put it in. And then Friday I put in my...
you put it in. Oh, you put it in. Okay, I got it. for the big next year or this year?
Well, right now we're doing our picks for next year. So I put in my first 2 weeks today, and then Friday I put in my next 3 weeks.
Cool. How many weeks do you get a year?
If you add my sick days and my loo days, I get 7 weeks a year.
Holy cow!
Wow. That makes my 2 look puny.
Yeah,
I want that job.
Yeah, I mean, if I get once I'm there for another 2 years, I'm basically a teacher. I can get 8.
Wow.
Fuck.
No wonder my it's great up here. You got poutine. You get like half a year off. Wow.
Yeah, we're almost like fucking Europe now, where you have like every other week you get off, for fuck's sakes.
That's true.
There's a reason I don't leave my job, and it's not because I love it so much that I can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
Because it pays me well,
perks.
and I got some nice perks.
It's got the ancillary benefits, as they say.
Gotta love those perks, man. I just got over having. I still have it, but I got some kind of bronchial infection. I've been out for a week. It's awesome. And I blame the fact that I have drinking. That's why I got sick. If I would have just kept drinking, I'd be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure
you
you
need a hot whiskey, Paul.
Yep.
A hot toddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Paul, you don't get the Ebola, okay?
Yeah. Well, I think that's what I got, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Only happy.
There's a lot of conspiracy theorists at my work and people that are just fear mongers. So there was a news article that came out because the media likes to help fearmonger too. And the news article was that one of the people that was on the plane with the nurse from Dallas was seen in Beamsville. So Beamsville is just outside of Niagara Falls. It's just like 20 minutes up the road. So I posted that to all my conspiracy theorist friends, and I'm like, have fun with this article, guys.
Except it's been more than 21 days since that plane flight. So.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't have it or anything. It was just saying, oh, he's here and he was on the plane, and fear mongering.
They want to establish a new world order through this. Create fear.
The fucking contrails, man.
Listen to Alex Jones now.
Chemical trails.
Yeah, I had to go for a car ride with Mr. fucking UFO and contrails the other day. That was
What's
fucking
the?
interesting.
Sure, you have your own version up there in Toronto. Is it Craig?
Craig.
Craig, yeah.
Tube?
Yeah, he's a big fan.
Oh, he's
Hamilton.
in Hamilton, yeah.
Hamilton.
Hamilton,
I went
sorry,
to Hamilton
Ontario.
at some point in time.
Guys, I'm not a bad drummer. Fuck.
Oh, he's cool. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, if he wasn't that fucking weird ass albino shit. Other than that, Jesus Christ. Damn. There's only one albino in Canada, and that's the Rock. Everyone else just tries to fake.
Oh, you're just trying to suck up to me now.
Who
I hate you too.
who was everyone shitting on before? The other albino? What?
Oh no.
Oh, Craig too. Oh, Craig too.
Yeah.
We're on about
Talking
conspiracy theorists.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Yeah.
That's everyone should, because it's all real. It's gonna kill you one day.
That's right.
Get your tin
Big
paper.
Bigfoot.
Get your
Tinfoil
Bigfoot
hat,
does
yeah.
exist, asshole. Yeah.
No,
and he makes
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot makes the best foil hats. That's what I'm telling you right now.
Bigfoot was put here by the aliens in conjunction with reptilians and government.
Hmm. No, you're completely missing the point. Bigfoot was supposed to be here. We're the ones put here by aliens.
Oh, okay.
That's why
So-
we don't the evolutionary chain. See, you get it? Boom.
Makes sense.
Now we can all go to bed.
We can all go to bed.
Yeah, let's have a beer. Yeah. I figured it out.
Cheers.
Let's move on. Cheers.
Each head's just a shaved Yeti, for fuck's sakes. Come on.
I was wondering how long it would take somebody to notice that I have no hair this week.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
worry,
but
every
every
week. But
at the rate you grow hair, it's like tomorrow you'll probably have a full
Yeah.
fucking head of hair. So it's like,
Chad,
Exactly.
you've got more hair on your shoulders than my dog has on her entire body.
I get
Me and Lee ain't
I
gonna
get
say
people
shit.
grossed out at work because I stand there and I like push my shirt right here, right at the chest, and they're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because it's not away from my body because of my breast; it's all hair." And they push and it like sinks into like 2 inches of hair. Yeah, I love it.
yeah, that's right. You just sit there at the bar serving drinks or whatever, and some drunk chick comes up. You want to see a shag rug, baby?
You know what? At the job I'm at now, I don't say anything stupid, but at other bars I've worked at as bouncers and all that, I've said some pretty gross things.
That must be quite the job, eh? Bouncing?
I don't do that anymore, and I'm glad I don't.
It's a shitty job.
It is a shitty job, and you start to doubt humanity doing it.
Yeah, I can see you hating people very, very quick.
Well, you know what? The main reason I started buying beer and trying beer is probably bouncing, because after working in the bars for as long as I did, I was like, I don't want to go out drinking. Do I act like these idiots when I'm out? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I'd rather sit home and fucking drink than go to a goddamn bar. You're paying less, and you're not interacting with a bunch of fucking morons, so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's it cost for a good craft beer at a bar nowadays? Last time I went.
oh my God, look at what's here. Cousin Ann.
Oh, shit!
It's the big bearded one.
But that depends on what you're drinking. You could get a $4 beer, but you could get an $18 beer
I'll
at
be
a
right
bar.
back, guys. The wife just got home.
You're paying 300% more, so have fun with that.
Look, it's the beard and the beer.
Beard and the beer. The B&B.
How are we?
How's it going, Devin?
Not bad. So I brought my Xbox microphone up in the hope that I could make things better for the viewers, and it turns out it doesn't even fit next to the fucking computer, so might be another night of phantom noise next little bit.
Yeah, because I was about to say, your Xbox mic doesn't sound all that much better.
I can't.
I gotta rectify this.
You have do you have a microphone built in your webcam, or?
It's just whatever's built into my laptop.
Oh, okay, I would do it.
What you need to do, sir, is just find yourself the cheapest fucking computer outlet in your area, anywhere close, and just grab the cheapest fucking mic you can find. Even the cheap mics are fairly decent for what you need,
Okay.
honestly.
I will make the effort.
Because I just got a shitty, cheap piece of shit mic. And I sound fucking awesome.
Really get them at the dollar.
Worthy of the king of beer tube.
King of beer.
That's right, King of Beer Tube.
Just
Nothing but the best for King of Beer. I haven't really inflamed anyone's anger yet by saying that. I've been trying to troll people by saying.
The night is young.
Yeah, I've been trying to troll people by saying I'm a king of beer tube and stuff, and see how many people take me fucking seriously and get all outraged by it. But so far, no one's done it. I've been doing it for like 2 months now, and no one's done it.
well, if no one's got the title, I guess it's yours.
I guess it is it must be my title now. Fuck.
Surprised that he hasn't made an image yet where he's pasted your face on a King of Hearts or something like a King of Spades.
You need to do it. Gee, get on that shit.
Oh, he did. No, you're
Because it will be my new fucking avatar if that's his. If he does that.
Well, we've already got the Norse King of Beer Tube logo.
Yeah, pretty much with that fucking that helmet. I should have stole that helmet. I really should have stole that helmet. Or actually, the Urban Viking should have fucking sent it to me, you motherfucker.
You probably did, but somebody stole it.
Yeah. Chad pulled a Simon on me and grabbed it before I could get it.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
So sorry I missed last week's thing with all the lists.
Did you actually have lists made up?
No, I didn't have time to actually sit down and do anything, and I didn't want to just join to waste people's time when there might have been other people that did have lists. So it would have taken me a while to sit down and think about it, I think. But I don't know. Tastes have changed over the years, and there's always good stuff coming out, so to try and pin something down.
It's too bad.
Fast.
It's too bad. It would have been interesting to see your list.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't had that much exposure to a lot of the stuff in Toronto, like a lot of people have. I know there's a lot of Bellwood stuff, and I've been curious about them. Indie Ale House too. I finally had something from them, and it was awesome. But,
So you haven't done a lot of Bellwoods?
no, I haven't at all. I think I maybe had 3 beers from them now.
Yeah, that's all I've really had. But the Bring Out. Have you had Bring Out Your Dead?
I would honestly have to look up and see if I had it with the Rhino, and if I didn't, then I haven't. But yeah, I'm not even sure.
What style is that again?
It's an
I think I heard
imperial.
this earlier.
It's an imperial stout. Barrel aged in cognac barrels.
Oh, nice.
So it's definitely different than your usual fucking imperial stouts out there.
But I just feel like either a lot of stuff I have is either I go right to the breweries to get, or it's just double CBO. So, but like I said, I hate driving in Toronto, so I avoid it like the plague. And I understand I'm missing out on a lot of stuff, but I'd just rather not deal with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
London was pretty good for getting some stuff in some of the bars in London, but I don't know. I'm still always up for trying anything. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually bought a bottle of Schlitz tonight. I haven't had it.
Schlitz, really?
Yeah, it's been like 11 years since I had it. It's now in a brown bottle rather than a clear one.
Yeah.
I basically planned on getting schlitzed and then going to get a haircut because I haven't had a haircut in about a year. The Schlitz didn't dummy me as much as I remember, and I actually got a decent haircut. So I guess the night was a success.
I've never had Schlitz, but I see like a lot of people say like it's like on par with like PBR as like far as American sort of traditional macro brews.
Yeah, here it's like a 6% malt liquor.
Oh, really?
But I guess it is still made by the guys that do PBR. But there is like a Schlitz in the States that is, I understand, a normal beer. But I don't know, the one you can get over here has got a Blue Bull on it. It's malt liquor, and it tastes like piss. So
What's going on, sorry?
still fun to revisit.
I was
but
getting yelled at for the last 10 minutes.
We were talking about Schlitz and Blue Bowl Pits and.
Yeah, I think it's from Germany.
You know, I even freeze at the best times because all I heard is we're talking freeze.
Schlitz. We were talking Schlitz.
Oh, Schlitz. That was one of my best beer reviews.
I'll have to look it up. I had it tonight.
Okay, here's a question. Did Devin have Bring Out Your Dead? Because he said he didn't remember, but he might have if he had it with you.
And he froze again.
God damn it, Chad.
I had Hell.
He wouldn't have had Bring Out Your Dead with me if he had it.
Okay.
What's the one with the devil? The Hellwoods?
There's Hellwoods, yeah.
Yep.
I think I had that with you. That might have been the only one with you. And then I had, I think, the Monogamy Citra, and I think I've had the Wizard Wolf.
Wizard Wolf is good. Your brother apparently grabbed me a bottle of the Paranormal Pumpkin Ale.
Yeah, it's a lot better than the first time I had it.
Yeah?
Yeah, the booze is, like, it was really boozy the first time it settled out in the LCB.
Oh, when I did my single reviews, the Guilty Conscience is the lowest Ontario double IPA I rated. But when I did my blind taste test, it wasn't the lowest.
Cool. I'm curious to see the videos.
Yeah, it wasn't like rated bad. It was just rated at it was $12 a bottle, right? And it's not. It was too bitter on the back end for me, and I'm like, yeah, this. I'll give it a 6.75. It's made well, but it's not my thing, and I can't see myself paying $12 a bottle for it.
Cool.
Just want to say a couple comments here real quick. Tornation Gaming says, hello, everybody. Hello, Tornation Gaming. Sorry I didn't say...
Tornation Gaming.
Sorry we didn't say hello until 18 minutes later, but the comment thing is fucked beyond belief. And Ride Flat 43C says, Lee knows his stuff, and Bigfoots can make you not see them in the forest.
That's right.
You can't find me in the forest.
Apparently, they're like Predator. They have the
They know how to manipulate human perception. It's okay. Let's move on.
Let's move past
Calm
this,
down.
people.
Just accept it. Run flat.
What's happening?
Any other comments other than those two?
No, that's it. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. I haven't had I haven't done the no margin for error yet. I'll probably do it tomorrow. On my Thursdays, I try to get through like 2 to 4 beers, but we'll see if it happens or not.
There's one thing that we had a bottle share on the weekend. Jared actually came up with it, and we had the Anderson Valley Goza. It's called like the Kimmy and the Yippee and the Goza or something like that. Have you ever had that?
No, he already asked me. He said he has a can for me.
Okay, sweet. I wanted to make sure that he did remember that. Hazy wheat.
I have his 2 homebrews that he overboiled, and I'm not sure if I want to just drink them or review them for him, because if they were overboiled, they might not be proper to do.
Yeah, was that the one wet hop one?
Yeah, the 2 that came out at like 3% and 2.2%.
I had a bottle of the wet hop last night. I think he called it like patio planters or something.
Yeah.
But it was actually pretty nice, and we had the coffee still on the weekend. It's still not fully carbonated, but it's still pretty decent. I don't know. You can always film it and then delete it if you don't want to review it, whatever.
True.
But, the wet hop one was actually pretty decent, and the coffee one I think has potential if it's carbonated, even if it is like a lower ABV. I think the coffee was used well. It'd be neat to see, if it was a bit higher, it'd be.
So what's coming out on the Innocente front right now?
What do we got going on? We're still aging that Russian Imperial. It's going to be, I think, probably another couple weeks, and then we are going to be bottling it, so I'll make sure to bring some of that home. And then, I don't know, we submitted some stuff for Cask Days. It goes out tomorrow. And I don't know, man. There's always stuff going on. It's crazy. We're always busy. It's a lot of fun. Learning every day, man. I said it last time I was on, but it's wicked. Working at a brewery is awesome. So, yeah. I don't know, nothing I guess huge right now, but just keeping up with the food and trying to pick the odd pilot batch of stuff.
Sure you ever made.
See where it goes. Or Goza. We're not doing a Goza.
No, you didn't do a pumpkin beer for me either.
It's we only ended up getting like a couple really small kegs out of it that have just been retail only.
Oh, what?
It's one cast on a cast base, so.
Yeah, well, again, you don't have to do retail only. You can throw some in a bottle and throw it this way.
But to bottle it off the tap will probably be super oxidized.
No, wouldn't it's the same as a growler off the tap?
Yeah, but by
Beer
the
for a
time
jag, man. No money exchanged hands.
I would get it down there, it would be not.
Well, we've proven that growlers can last for months, thanks to Joe.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Well, I'll see what I can do. No promise.
Although I will say the growler Joe brought that was months old. I'd love to compare a fresh one compared to the one he brought.
The Willoughby peanut butter coffee porter.
Yeah, that was the one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they can that now too, at the brewery, I guess.
Nice.
So I'd like to get a can of that fresh and check it out.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a peg-ass growler fill and a regular growler fill? Is this purged with CO2 as it fills?
Sorry, I didn't hear anything.
Not following
you
me?
said.
I'm not familiar.
Well, I went to Everything Wine and More in Lethbridge, and they got a peg-ass system. And it seals on the top of the bottle. So there's only a few of these in Canada. And as it fills the growler, it like purges the CO2, like, you know what I mean? As it fills, they say it lasts a long time. And it has like a fucking plexiglass shield and shit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that system or not.
No, I never.
I was like, whatever. They filled my growler and it was good, whatever.
Yeah, you see, all you need to do the same thing is you fill the growler, and you have to overfill it a tiny bit because you want to fill it on carbonation. You want to fill it on head, basically. So you pour it, you want a little bit of head at the top, so you have to overfill it a tiny bit so there's not much headroom. Then you cap it. If you really want to make sure it's airtight, that's when you put the shrink wrap on and like use a hair dryer on it. And then you actually have it sealed tight. I mean, you don't need to go out and spend multi-thousands of dollars on some weird system with a plexiglass shield to do the same thing.
Well, they said there's only a few of them in Canada called the peg-ass fucking growler fill. And so I didn't know if you guys had seen them or not. Or...
Another way they can do it is Innocente's growlers are the same thing. It's the pop tops, the rubber sealed pop tops, just like the Grolsch bottles. So you seal it, and as long as that gasket's new, your seals can last for a long time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Those rubber stoppers, they get old and dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got it full of CO2, it's safe, right? I mean, nothing can live in carbon dioxide, so.
Well, it's nothing that we know of yet can live in alcohol. Period. It's just as long as it's airtight, so that the CO2 isn't running out or oxygen isn't getting in, you're fine.
Mm-hmm. That's why you don't bottle in plastic bottles, because oxygen molecules can go through plastic.
Yippers.
Unless you're in Europe, where they do that shit on a regular basis.
Yeah, you can get the 2-liter plastic bottles of Charles Wells IPA.
Or you can get I think it's from Finland or somewhere like that, where you can get their it's a certain beer style that's very popular. It's almost sold like soda pop, and they sell it in fucking plastic bottles.
I feel like when I was in England, they sold Strongbow in 2-liter plastic bottles. It was kind of.
Yeah, you're right there. Most of the cider over here are sold in 2 or even 3-liter plastic bottles called flagons.
Yeah, the only plastic bottled cider I ever had was the County cider. That tasted straight up like a condom, and like an apple condom at that. And we actually went out and we bought an apple condom at the corner store, and the cartoon tasted it, and yeah, it tasted the exact same as the apple condom.
Makes you wonder what's going on in that brewery, man.
No, it's just the sulfites they use.
Okay.
They packed it full of sulfites and latex rubber.
Okay, so tonight before, well, because I went to go get a bottle of Schlitz tonight.
Why did you go and get a bottle of Schlitz?
I haven't had it in years, and
Fucking awesome name. Schlitz.
I had an Old English a couple months ago for the sake of untapping it. So I was like, well, Schlitz I used to drink a fair bit. Well, I'll go and get one of those because I know they have it. But they had a bunch of new McKellar beers in the LCBO. I don't know if you've seen them.
Oh no, we don't get any of them here in Niagara. It's the McKellar. The McKellar. There's 6 of them. They have a McKellar promotion right now.
Yeah, it's an expensive promotion. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, McKellar beers are expensive.
Texas Ranger, and it's just a strong, I think just strong ale it's listed as, and it was like $4.60 for a bottle this size. It's good, but I don't know if it's worth almost $5. One of them's a cream ale. One of them was a pale ale. I think there was one called Gold, and the other one was just a Belgian ale, which I'm typically not used to anyway. So they had 4 out of the 5 here, but like, man, $5 a bottle. I don't know. The one thing I had like from them before was their milk stout. I remember it being pretty good, but yeah, I don't know.
I can't see myself paying $5 a bottle for a cream ale unless it was like a $7.50.
Well, you're paying what is it? 3 something, isn't it, for the Bell City cream ale in a can, or is it $2.95, something like that?
I think it's under 3.
Yeah, it might be right at like $2.95 or $2.85, but I mean that's a domestic cream ale made by a craft brewery, and then you're bringing McKellar in from across the ocean. People will probably pay it because they're like, ooh, McKellar, I heard so much about it.
Yeah. I guess there's a little bit of hype about the brewery. I haven't heard too much about it. But the one thing with the LCBO near my place is there's never a price tag on anything. So I was gonna grab them all, and then I was like, I'm probably gonna get screwed, so I'll just get 2. And all of a sudden, it's almost $10 for 2 normal sized bottles of beer. So I tried to grab the ones I thought I would enjoy, and probably won't pick up the other ones. But I want to try everything, but you know, sometimes money's an issue when you're buying beer. But they are out there now, apparently.
Yeah, they're not out here.
You guys selling this, Chente, and I haven't seen any out here. Is it pretty?
No, it's just right at the brewery.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, most of his beers are some of the best values in the province for what you're getting. The Bystander for like under $5 a bottle is amazing, and it's a pint bottle.
Okay. What styles do you guys do, like, generally? You do all kinds of shit, or?
Right now, it's mostly everything's hop forward. We have a Marzen right now, which is probably the most multi thing. But we've gotten an American style IPA, a pale ale, and golden ale, which are kind of the core 3. And then right now we've got the Belgian pale that Chad and I were there for. There's a Pilsner, and we're aging in a Russian Imperial right now.
The Pilsner is very reminiscent of Pivo Pils from Firestone Walker.
Fuck, sounds like you could drink yourself to death at that place, man. Marzens, Pilsners, and Pale Ales, fuck. Just fucking hook a funnel up, fuck.
The beer is good. I'm not being biased, or I'm not lying when I say that. So it's nice to you know, after a day of work, pull a pint of it, for sure.
I disagree. Don't listen to Devin. He's a liar. Dirty, dirty liar. Winter's Coming says he spent $8.50 on craft beer pints recently here in Ontario. Cameron's Auburn Ale and Detour. Paying that much for a beer as light as Detour didn't seem right.
Where were you?
Probably Beer Town.
Like what city were you in? What bar were you at? $8.50 a pint. $8.50 a pint is actually normal price for the big bad pints.
And Greg Bylog says, but Bellwoods is a huge pain to get to, even though I only live 15 minutes away from it. I get arthritis in my middle finger driving in Toronto.
Who said that one?
That was Greg Bylog.
Okay. Like I was saying, $8.50 a pint of regular craft beer is kind of steep. $8.50 a pint for higher end stuff is normal. But yeah, for those two beers you've claimed, $8.50 a pint is very overpriced.
Christ, even a pint of Guinness here is about $8.50 Canadian dollars. So you can imagine what we pay for craft beer.
Well, you go into my work and you're paying $8.75 for a pint of Stella, but my work is
you work
a
at a casino or something like that, don't you?
Yeah. Like my work is government run. It is all about the profit, and that's it. And
well, that's like going into a pub buying a pint of Guinness, or going into a hotel and buying a pint of Guinness. You know, there's always going to be a huge price difference there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at again Silversmith's Black Lager. Their Black Lager is $8.75 a bottle, or it's $5.75 or $6 for a pint. I'll buy that pint all day.
Well, so would I. So would I.
And like I said, the pint bottles at Innocente are what, $4.32 plus tax. They come out to just under $3 something plus tax, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Fling and Bystander come to $4, and I'm pretty sure Thompson's come to $4.
Yeah, his core none of the core brands go above $5 after the tax is added.
Yeah, most of the one-offs are
13% tax on everything, don't you?
44% tax on beer.
Holy cow! Shit! Man alive!
The greatest thing about Devin actually working at the brewery is he's now learning more and more about all the things I rant about all the time.
It's been an eye-opener, and it's just, I don't know.
He's beginning to appreciate that you're not just a crazy motherfucker after all.
Well,
You could teach Paul what a bright tank is.
yeah, it's been an eye-opening experience, and it's just.
How long have you been there now, Devin?
Just about a month. I was working in construction, making a lot of money, and I had a chance to come out here. So.
Jesus, that's
now I'm do apartments.
A fairly big change of lifestyle for you, I suppose.
Yeah, but I don't know. Beer's been a constant throughout my life, I guess. So I don't know. I'm paying for 2 apartments right now, but I'm happy every day, and it's just.
Bit of a weird question, but do you ever find? I know you're only there a month, but working in a brewery, do you ever hear the phrase "bossman's holiday"?
What's that?
You know what that means? Because you're working in a brewery, do you find it enhances your passion for the beer, or because you're around beer so much, oh fuck, I don't want to drink that anymore?
I don't always come home and have a beer right away because I'm around it, I guess, but you're learning so much about it all the time, and like,
that's cool.
You taste it through so many different processes and things like that.
That's the right attitude to have.
Yeah, like it's a constant learning thing. I don't know. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's just you're there from the start to the finish, and you get to try it along the way. And
yeah,
I got a fucking question for Colgate, man. Like, what makes smaller bubbles on beer as opposed to bigger bubbles on the head?
Oh.
What's the determining factor in that? I've always wondered. No one can answer that fucking question for me. You take Hugard and has tiny little bubbles, and like certain beers have tiny little head bubbles.
To do with viscosity.
I don't know enough about it to give you like a concrete answer. It could be just a lot of the time you're like force carbonating it with CO2, so it could be the PSI you get up to with that. It could be
the thicker a liquid is, the bigger the bubble it can hold. The thinner the liquid is, the easier it is for the CO2 to escape.
So you're saying it's just strictly dependent on viscosity?
Well, no, but it would be one of the biggest factors in it, Chad. It doesn't apply just to beer; it applies to everything.
The viscosity, ingredients are a big thing as well.
Yeah, agreed.
Like if you make a beer with corn, you're getting that head that just disappears right away.
Because it's thin.
Gone. When you make it with malt, that's the head that usually sticks around. Like when it's an all malt thing. Different malts will have a different length of time they'll last for too. Again, like Devin was starting on, the forced carbonation versus natural carbonation is a big thing as well.
I think it's to do with the proteins as well, Chad. You know how many proteins are still left in the beer, isn't it?
Why do I have this? Why do I have this internet? Why am I paying this money for this internet? A lot of breweries will force carbonate because it takes a lot less time. You don't have to wait to see if it carbonates, and if it undercarbonates, you can still force carbonate. You'll have your carbonation stones. That will make the beer that has just those bubbles that fly up because it's force carbonated. Usually you see the slower bubbles and the thicker head on naturally carbonated beers.
Mm-hmm.
Would there be any difference between harvesting CO2 out of your fermentation tanks or like bought in CO2? It wouldn't matter, right?
Well, that's just it. Natural fermentation is you didn't add anything in. Natural carbonation is you didn't add anything in. Forced carbonation, you have your carbonation stones in there, and you're just forcing it in until you hit the PSI you want. And you're not really harvest. I'm trying to think of the way to say it. Sorry, go ahead, Devin.
I was gonna say like CO2 that's used in the brewery for purging lines or anything. You don't really try to recoup. Pretty much once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a layman's way of talking the science about it, and I just couldn't. It wasn't.
Yeah, like there's so much stuff in the air to try and recover it. You'd probably be adding a bunch of other things into it, like you could end up like if you had a wild yeast or something in it, right?
Yeah, like everything that's in his beard.
So you could potentially I imagine like with trying to cross-contaminate stuff just through natural airflow. Like that's how wild yeast and stuff kind of work, right? So the idea is pretty much all the CO2 we use is from the tank, and that's it. You don't try and recover it if you use it to kind of purge lines or something like that. Just so.
Because you have to test it to see if there's any oxygen and shit.
I'm sorry?
You'd have to test to see how much oxygen is in the lines because you're worried. Because it hasn't had time to settle and shit.
Yeah, like that's part of it too, because you worry about oxidation, but at the same time, like if you just like sanitize lines, you might just use CO2 just to get the excess liquid out of the lines or out of the tank or things like that.
Now that it's been like 3 months since we were there last, are you still finding little black specks from my boots?
No. No, I'm pretty sure all your boots have all your boot pieces have wasted away with the caustic and things like that.
I don't know what type of caustic he uses, guys, but I have acid-proof boots, and his caustic ate it away. They were gone. I had no heels. I had no soles left when I left. I was walking on metal plates. Good thing they were free from work.
My boots are still holding up, so I don't know what works giving me. Yeah, so far mine have held up, and they're the ones that was using for construction. So I should get some new ones. They're kind of on there.
Hey, did you see the Trafalgar Niagara Peach mead over there?
No, I saw that you. I saw you posted about it. It was apparently really good.
Yeah, it was really good. I was immensely impressed.
You know, I picked up. I do enjoy pizza still. Next time I'm home. It'll still be on the shelf next time I'm home.
Oh, most likely.
Yeah.
Because that LCBO never brings in anything new.
Got some more comments here. Jason Spears says the brown plastic beer bottles you buy in a homebrew store have an oxygen barrier, apparently.
Only the Cooper's ones do, I think, don't.
Yeah, which is cool. Robert Wolf says this is great, Mr. Rhino and the gang. Ride Flat 43 says, do you guys know Craig from CraigTube? Yes, we know him. Another albino beer reviewer from Canada. He's got a lot of.
Well, he's not really a beer reviewer. He's a homebrew Cooper's type of guy.
Yeah. And Winter is Coming says. Winter is Coming says place called the Local Gastropub here in Barrie. They are all about the craft beer. Carry seasonals, cask beers, etc. I'll definitely be going back despite the price. So that's in relation to his previous comment about paying $8 for Cameron's.
So, Winter's Coming. Do you go to Flying Monkeys often, or to Barnstormer? Because Barnstormer's prices, I'm betting, are much better than $8.50 a ton. At least I'd hope they are.
And
Is
Robert
Barnstormer
Wolf,
the one that had Captain Teabag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and Robert Wolf says it could be the glass you're using. I guess that's probably in relation to the
head talk you were talking about.
Yeah,
Well, this is Innocent Gun and its head. The head, some big bubbles,
You need
little bubbles.
You need a good head. You hold it 2 feet above the glass and pour it just directly.
Yeah.
Just upside down. Jugga, 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 jugga. Epic head.
That's the Ronald Terrio for.
Epic head every time. Guaranteed.
Hello. Swan. Hello.
The Ronald Terrio pour brings in Ronald Terrio.
So what, did you go to New Orleans and come back? Is that what happened? I thought you said you were going to New Orleans.
Yeah. I had to drive all the way over there and bring my daughter soup because she's sick with a cold. So while I was out there,
Can you hear Jay? 'Cause I can't, which usually means I'm gonna get kicked out.
We can hear Jay.
That means I'm gonna get kicked out any second.
Hear everybody.
Same thing that happened to Devin. I couldn't hear Devin. Out I went. I'm like, fuck.
Okay, continue, Jay.
Well, since I was out there in New Orleans, I said I might as well pass by some grocery stores, and I stopped by 2 different stores and I picked up some beers that I wasn't able to find out here. Like Guinness American Lager, for instance.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me go turn that TV off in the background. I know it's making noise. You could probably hear it. Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Yeah, and I bought Lazy Magnolia Honey Lager and what was that other one? Guinness American Lager. I have to go look at the other one. But I bought some interesting things. Nothing, profound, but interesting.
I'm really looking forward to watching some reviews of the Blonde Lager now. Now that
like I said,
it's really weird because it's made in La Crosse at the most atrocious brewery.
But like I was saying, like some of the reviews I've seen have been pretty decent. So, like they weren't saying it was mind blowing, but I mean they were saying for like a bigger company like Guinness to make something like that, it was of above average quality. So.
And that Innocent Gun pour I did is what I call again the Ronald the Riot pour. They're just straight down the cup.
Oh yeah,
I can't pull that one off, man.
I remember what I bought now. I bought the 3 new Lining Kugel Shandies.
What are the shandy flavors?
There's one called ginger cranberry, and there's one called like fall traditional shandy, and I don't know what that means. It's just different spices. And then there's one called like fall seasonal shandy, which has a pumpkin on it, but I don't think it contains any pumpkin. It's just like deceptive, because if you look at the can carefully, it says this shandy contains many different spices.
Pumpkin spices, so
so
just like
probably
just like-
allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves.
yeah, just like fake pumpkin beers. Yeah.
That's Line and Kugel's shtick now. They're just like into flavored beer to the hilt. But that's where the money is, I guess.
Well, yeah, it's easier to do that than to, like, say, make a pumpkin beer of actual pumpkins, because you actually have to go and source out your pumpkins and get some. And where if you just buy some spices and put them in your shitty generic beer and sell it as a pumpkin beer, that's a lot easier to do.
Yeah, my daughter said, "Oh, I want to try that pumpkin shandy." I said, "Elizabeth, I don't think it's a pumpkin beer at all." I said, "Look at the can carefully," and so she didn't. She was a little disappointed, but she said the ginger cranberry was really good.
Well, it's good to know. Maybe I'll get my hands on them at some point. Probably not, though. Now that my passport's expired, I probably won't go across anytime soon.
I got 9 years left on mine.
I have a 12-month wait before I have my interview for the Nexus.
Nexus?
Nexus is basically kind of like a passport, but it just lets you get across the U.S.-Canadian border.
We can buy the passport cards here. It's $30 and it's for 10 years, and it's a passport card. It's like a little driver's license you keep in your wallet, and you can go to any place really in the world if you can get there by boat, or you can walk or drive in a car. You just can't use it for air flight.
Yes, that's sort of like the Nexus. The Nexus will work for air travel though into the U.S.
The only thing I didn't know is there's a couple countries where you're also required a visa too with your passport. So that you gotta get one of those at some point in time, I guess.
Yeah, that's like me. If I want to go to the States or go to Canada, I need both a visa and a passport.
Right.
Wow. A travel visa?
Same thing with Australia and New
Australia,
Zealand.
I need a visa. France, any place in Europe, obviously, I don't.
Just like neighboring countries you don't, but come over here you do.
Well, I mean, I can go to Germany, and technically speaking, I don't need a passport. My driver's license should do. But most people bring one just in case.
Yeah, I don't know all the people in this panel. I feel embarrassed.
I always feel embarrassed.
Dude, it's good.
I don't know. Who don't you know?
Well, let's see. I see somebody with a. Oh, okay, Beerzerk. I know him. And Devin, I don't know. Where's Devin from?
Devin is a Colgate on my channel. He's right now he works at Innocente Brewing.
Oh, we got Dolahan.
That's me. That's the guy with the white dog.
Greg.
Yeah.
Where's Dolahan from?
Ireland.
Ireland. My daughter was in Ireland in June and July.
Oh yeah. Where did she go?
Cork. No, mostly at Cork.
Cork, an hour down the road from me.
Yeah, Cork and a little bit in Dublin.
Yeah, that's cool.
Ride Flat, and I don't know Ride Flat.
Everywhere in Ireland's an hour away, isn't it?
I'm in Illinois.
Not quite.
Quite.
I gotta
you
find out where Kildare is.
can probably go from the bottom to the top to the bottom of Ireland in about 6-7 hours.
Wow.
So it's as big as PA.
About the same
So
size.
it's as big as the Maritimes, basically.
And 3 times as big as Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, anyway.
Hey, look, Ride Flat's here. Good day, Ride Flat.
What a dick.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Where's AJ?
AJ.
Yeah, where's AJ?
Who's AJ?
Nobody knows who AJ is.
Yeah. Who's AJ, Ron?
Average.
Oh,
Oh.
America. I think he's puking in his toilet with his dad holding his hair again.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He was too good. He was too good to join tonight. He made
He,
some
he was
comments.
he was angry at us because we were talking about what our favorite beers were that were owned by big guys at the beginning, so he didn't come in.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, some people are very subservient to the international capitalist conspiracy, so therefore it upsets people.
We were throwing out names like Lef and Hogarden and Unibrew and
Moosehead.
Creemore, Hop City.
That's what's wrong with this world. Big companies making products. Real problem.
I like a lot of those, but brew. But the only thing is, I don't know if I like Unibrew as much as I used to. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's taste, but I still like them. I still think they're really good.
Their recipes are still the same, so it's mostly taste. I mean, I'm the same too. Unibrew's La Fin de Monde and Trois Pistoles. I used to love them in Maudit, and I still like them, but they're not, oh my god, anymore.
Right, yeah, they used to be 10s for me, and now they're 9s, but that's still excellent. So it's like, it's splitting hairs, but they're just not as good for me as they used to be.
Unibrew's recipes haven't changed over the years, but it's just that they haven't changed over the years, and we've had so much awesome stuff.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you talk about German breweries too, like Weihenstephaner, which you have right now, and you're so excited about. People are like, this is the best white beer in the world, and this and that. Well, the problem is that their recipe hasn't changed in like 700 years. Like there's so many things that are out there that have changed and become different that it's just left on the wayside. It's still a really good beer, but
So we're kind of like dealing with upper level mediocrity.
yeah, kind of.
Like just run of the mill awesomeness. That's the term I use. Run of the mill awesomeness. Which is not a bad thing. Don't you think? Oh, well, I jumped into this late. I should not be bringing up topics.
We desperately need something because these guys are just fiddle fucking.
Well, yeah, none of us have slept for a week, so.
Don't you think that one of the detriments of the beer world, the beer drinking world, is that people are too caught up into everything has to be something new and different and elaborate and exciting every 2 days, and it can't just be good and enjoyable. You think people are caught up too much in that rat race of that thing? It has to.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I understand why you'd get caught up in it, but at the same time, if it's good, it's good. You look at, I mean, like double IPAs. I just reviewed 3 double IPAs tonight before we did this, and then I did a blind taste test of them. And three of the 4 I did in the blind taste test all had basically the exact same flavor profile, slightly different, but the same basic profile. And then you had one that was different, and the one that was different was the one that people have berated so much. And I'm sitting here thinking, how do you care about trying something new when they all taste the exact same? But at the same time, I understand it. When you have 5 different breweries doing the exact same beer, why? Who cares?
I also like to try all the new things because it's different and it's exciting, and it just kind of bothers me a little bit when people say, "Well, it's awesome and everything, but it's just an ordinary old IPA." Okay, but you just said it was awesome.
Well, if it's awesome, it's awesome. I think my only complaint is when it is the exact same as every other IPA on the market at the time.
Well, I think maybe it was more just why did you say the word awesome if you're gonna say it's good? So what is it? Like for instance, if it's a solid, this is what I use, solid IPA, then that's great. It's a 7.5 out of 10. Solid, be gone. There's a million other ones just like it. Extremely good for the style. That's it. Moving on. I wouldn't say it's awesome and then go, it's a 7.5.
Yeah, but
awesome should be somewhere in the 9, 5, 10s if it's awesome.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Paul. But it's like there's a lot of people out there making 9 and 10 beers, and then you'll hear, or at least I do, because maybe I watch an excessive amount of beer reviews, but they'll say, oh well, I've been there, I've done that before, but why would that matter? I mean, I understand that it's a saturated market and there's a lot of competition and hard to differentiate, but like Chad's saying, if it's, and I'm not talking about like you're saying solid, I'm talking about awesome, like 9 to 10. I can't, I don't know. Maybe I'm just conflicted.
Well, like there's great Oktoberfest. There's great styles, good shit. But it's nice to see something brand new. Someone can come up with a brand new style. That's awesome too. I love a great Oktoberfest or a great IPA or whatever. Like I'll rate IPAs at 10, 11 out of 11, man. Fuck, whatever. It's all right. Something brand new is good too, right?
That's right. Beer Zerka does 11.
Yeah,
Fucking Spinal Tap this shit. I Spinal Tap shit all the time, man. If it's good, it's good. But I like to see new shit, and I like old shit.
Right.
Okay.
I am a little worried, though. That helmet's got me a little concerned.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Have you seen it lately? I keep adding on, man.
I know. That's why I'm even
It's
more
going to get worse and worse.
I
If
know.
you won't even visit my channel in a month from now, it's going to be too scary. No, it's all right.
Got me a little disconcerted, but not to say I'm anti-helmet and that people should not wear helmets when they do videos. I'm not saying that. I just
I'm okay, man. I'm better than I've ever been.
good.
I'm a happy person. I'm inside. It's all right.
It's for Berserker's own protection and your protection as well. So it's all good.
A little bit of Canadian culture involved. I mean, I got the hockey helmet. I'm rocking it. Whatever.
Okay. I thought it might have been because of the radiation that was being beamed to you from the communists through the,
Well, I got tin. I'm upgrading to tin foil slowly, but it's
Well, we do have a lot of
helps, right?
we do have a lot of maple syrup radiation in the air. Anyway, guys, I have to take off. Have a good night, everybody.
Hi, Lee.
Nice
Good
to
night.
meet you.
Good night, Lee.
Have a good night.
Take care, man.
Hey, Lee.
No, but Beer Zerka, don't worry. I'm just messing with you. I don't mind if you do it.
That's okay.
It's just odd. That's all. But I mean, odd is okay.
Well, I'm not normal, so that's it's just me, right?
I think the world's
Odd
coming
is
to
what-
an end since Ron has learned how to troll.
I'm not trolling anybody.
Ron is the new Joel.
One thing I've seen, Ron, in the beer community, to a certain extent, depending on who it is, with these beers, I've noticed a lot of guys get burnt out. They keep reviewing, but they're burnt out, I think. They've had so many high-quality beers and so many rare beers and whatever you want to call it, and they go, yeah, it's like, a really 10 out of 10 beer, but it's just not doing anything for me. I'm going to give it a 4. And like they're just they don't care anymore. Even though they think they still do, they're burnt out. They're like, I can
Oversaturated, you mean,
yeah,
Are
they
you
get
saying they don't care anymore?
oversaturated. They get too much. You don't care anymore. No more. And then some people, and then the other time is I've been doing this for a while. Is you get that thrill-seeking thing where you want the next beer to blow you away. Every beer you're hoping it just goes wah, and it goes which is not wah. It's not blowing you away, but it's still really good. You get a little sad a little bit. I do anyway.
Yeah,
But I was hoping it's gonna.
I agree, Paul, and I've caught a lot of flack, and you know this. You're one of the people who gave it to me about.
I like to do that.
I understand, but I'm not saying. Although I'm not saying that what you said was invalid, but Paul said and other people, all you ever do is give everything a B+. You just give everything. But I like I said on other videos, I said that's not by design or anything. It's just that if I'm reviewing a beer and I think it's very good or a B+, I'm just going to give it that score. I don't try to say, well, I've given too many B+, so let me just.
Yeah.
I'll just say this is an A- so that people don't get uptight about it. Well, like I said, if the next 1,000 beers that I review are a B plus, I feel
That's what they
compelled
get.
to score, even though it might be the most boring thing anybody ever watched. But I don't want to get up there and make up stories.
Well, no, Joe gives me this shit for the same thing. He goes, you either give 1s or 9s. That's it. I'm like, well, that's it. Well, give me a beer that's not a 1 or a 9. I'll give it something else.
Right,
Yeah, you either love it or hate it.
You have to do an honest craft beer review, but
Mm-hmm.
or a macro beer review. But somebody,
I got a problem. You know, like if you have a taco or whatever, like Budweiser tastes good, but like you can drink the same beer 2 times and you don't like it the next time.
yeah,
I mean, it's
that
all
would
review,
be,
but it doesn't always taste good to you. Like,
I've
tomorrow,
had women like that.
yeah, exactly.
that would be a good topic for a future video. What beers have you drank that you've turned on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I do wine from time to time. Like when you open a bottle of wine and let it breathe, it changes drastically. There's a lot of factors.
Fading out, buddy.
Oh, because I talk about wine or because it's.
No, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I say like with like I do wine from time to time, and
Someone is actually grinding up human bodies, apparently, and I can't hear over that.
to make their bread, it's like
Yeah.
if you open a wine, it's drastically different by the time you get to the end of the bottle from the start because of the breathe time and shit. So there's a lot of factors.
Oh yeah.
Temperature.
Yeah, breathing
Yeah,
time, oxidization stuff. There's a lot of times when I've loved a bottle of wine. I don't usually finish a bottle of wine in a sitting, but the first 2 glasses were absolutely amazing, and the other 4 were just kind of like the last one was like a drain pour because of just
That's
oxidation
why you have
and
to
things
just sit
like
down
that.
with the
So
bottle and drain it right then.
I've learned to do that now.
Like I did at my wedding.
That's a progression.
Give me another bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about Unibrow earlier. Did y'all know that was owned by Sapporo?
I'll be honest with you, Jay. My internet died after you said you talked about Unibrow earlier.
Yeah, Unibrow. I don't know how many people know that Unibrow is owned by Sapporo Brewing.
Yeah, well, actually, it's owned by Sleeman, and Sleeman is owned by Sapporo.
Right. Well, okay. And I believe, am I correct? I believe Sapporo is a subsidiary of Mitsubishi Corporation.
I've never actually looked up who owns Sapporo.
Yeah, it's amazing. Mitsubishi is such a huge company. I think they own Sapporo.
Which would be they own like the 5th largest brewery in the world then, because Sapporo is huge.
Yeah, if you get on the Mitsubishi website, it's mind-boggling. It's so huge. I mean, all their subsidiaries, but I'm almost certain that well, I know Mitsubishi owns a major brewing company, and I'm pretty sure it's Sapporo.
That would make sense.
That's a cool car beer reference there. Yeah, kind of correlation.
Well, my buddy
when I found it out, I thought it was cool. I was like, wow, this is really
Well, I was when I was watching I was watching something and it was showing the revitalization of the car movement after Japan after the World War II, and they said about how they wanted to make a very specifically small car, tiny little thing, and everyone told them to go shove it up their old heads. And then this company that made corks, they made a car division. They're like, okay, we'll start a whole car division. So they make corks for beer and wine bottles. That's what their job was. They made cork. So they decided to make cars, and now they started to make cars, and then it kind of caught on, and it became a good corporation. The Cork Corporation was actually Mazda. So there's another little There's another little like a beer car corporation kind of thing.
You know, there was a car called the Sapporo.
Really? I didn't know that.
I remember that.
My buddy owned a Sapporo. We would always make jokes and buy him cans of Sapporo every time we saw him.
Those guys, it was the car made in like a cylinder shape?
No, I
Is it
wish
silver?
it was.
Kind of like a
I
doll.
wish.
Kept
Yeah,
getting pulled
big,
over.
It's just big can. It looks like a big can on wheels.
And in
Sapporo.
earlier days, Mitsubishi helped found Kirin Brewery, Kirin Ichiban.
Oh, Kieran.
Kieran.
Yeah, that's another big
That's
major
like
brewery.
turn of the century, 1900s, though.
It's interesting. Maybe they'll have a car one. No, they won't. Never mind. Because you can't mix cars with alcohol. Yeah, you can't mix cars with drinking. Like, you couldn't have a car brand named after a beer because people would say, "Oh, that's encouraging drinking and driving."
Yeah, but Sapporo might be like a Japanese word for something, and it applies
They're
to
like beer. Beeru. Yeah.
Biru.
Yes, I think
Beeru.
I think Sapporo in Japanese means people. It means a man who drinks much beer and gets out of control.
Yeah.
So douchebag.
Comes out of vending machine. Punch.
Breathalyzer.
Punch prostitute. Can fits in prostitute. That's what Sapporo means. There you go.
That's not a very good prostitute.
That is a terrible thing.
What is wasn't there a car named the Silver Bullet? Silver Bullet?
Oh, you mentioned the Silver Bullet. Well, this is fascinating. I saw an old, I would say, early 80s, maybe late 70s can called Colt 45 Silver. It was an old malt liquor called Colt 45 Silver. And it was like ultra premium. It was like ultra premium malt liquor according to the can, but it was nicknamed the Silver Bullet, like that. But then Coors hurried up and copyrighted that name.
1 second.
He trademarked that name, the Silver Bullet.
I like those Colt 45 commercials from back in the day. They're pretty awesome.
You talking about with
City in Japan.
you talking about the ones with where they show the rockets coming out of the rocket launcher, or?
Well, no, there's like, it was in the black exploitation kind of thing. They had some football player, and he was really smooth and shit, and he had real, kind of like Black Dynamite, but it was for real, you know. They actually have those old commercials from the 70s.
Oh, right, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And
those are pretty cool.
Billy D. Williams, and he says Colt 45, it works every time, and he's got women coming over
those
to
are
his
awesome.
house. Oh yeah, those are great commercials, and they also have the great commercials for Schlitz malt liquor with that. I can't remember his name, the black actor, and he says a guy says Schlitz Bull. He says Bull. Man, I'll turn this bar into a car wash. That's a great commercial.
Schlitz, boys and girls. I was talking about it earlier.
Yeah, he was too.
I
guess I Ronald's review on that. The bull he was talking.
The Blue Bull.
Yeah, and I believe in Canada it used to. I think they stopped making it in Canada, but it was just called Schlitz. Period.
No, it's actually. Let me grab the bottle, man. I just had one tonight.
There you
It's
go.
a clear Schlitz.
Taking your Schlitz. Yeah, Sapporo is a city in Japan, apparently. So that's probably where the word comes from.
That's not too bad of a beer, really. I like Asian shit, Asian beer.
Sapporo's not that
I
bad.
like Asian women.
Rather dry. I don't like it.
This is the only version I've seen it in. But it is in a brown bottle now. It used to come in a clear bottle back when I was a teenager and wasn't old enough to drink it.
Oh, it is in a brown. Hold it up a little higher. Schlitz. Okay, don't move it. Let's see. Uh-oh.
Hold on a sec. There you go.
Strong beer. Okay, Schlitz strong beer. 6%. That's not that strong. Okay, so that's the same as Schlitz malt liquor. One tick above it, because Schlitz malt liquor in America is 5.9. What's
Yeah,
that?
when I checked
The
it.
green bottle?
Holy crap.
Molson Canadian. Oh, my goodness.
Where'd you take that out of?
How about this?
I like what it says, beer fort. That means like strong beer in French. Oh, wow. Chad, that is so cool.
What else do we have here? These are the empty ones. I didn't grab the full ones. How about some McEwen Scotch Ale?
Never heard of it.
I've heard of it.
Stroh's?
Heard of that. I got that bottle on my on my window pane.
This guy's coming up with me to Ontario next year.
Alpine, never ate of it.
Old Vienna.
Who said product?
Never ate of it.
Hey, this one is for you, my good friend.
Looks
Greg.
wonderful.
Ready for this, Greg? Bang.
Nice.
Hey!
Very nice.
Guinness goodness.
The look of the Irish.
Is it an extra stout, is it, or is that just stout?
That's just the normal stuff.
I saw the Guinness Corn Extra Stout tonight.
No, the normal Guinness, when they bottle it, they call it extra stout. The foreign extra stout then is the special version.
That's 7.5. 7.5.
Only comes in
I'm gonna try to.
300 ml bottle, I think,
I
isn't
wanna-
it, Ron?
Ugh.
It was.
I want to try to find some O'Hara, some more O'Hara stuff, and I want to try to find the Galway Hooker ale ale.
I just saw.
That's some Irish beers I'd like to try.
I can get O'Hara's.
I just saw O'Hara's stout tonight.
Paul, I can pick it up for you tomorrow.
Your label.
There you go. Awesome. I like the I haven't had the Galway Hooker stuff, but I like the O'Hara's from what I've had.
Yeah,
I had their
O'Hara's is quite. O'Hara's is quite nice. They sell them in the local supermarkets over here, though. They're quite easy to pick up.
nice. They don't sell it in Pennsylvania, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But
Here's an old beer can. I've never seen this brand in real life. I guess it doesn't exist anymore. Regal Brow. Is this some kind of store brand beer? Or was it an actual beer?
I heard of that. It's German or something, is it, Ron?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it's some.
No, it says Bavarian.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything. Bavarian stuff. Oh, Huber Brewing Company, Monroe, Wisconsin. Okay.
there you go.
Joseph Huber. Yeah, they're the ones that produced Dixie today. They got bought out by a Canadian Indian immigrant named Minhas.
Minhas. I've heard that.
I've heard of that.
Minhas
And I've never
Brewing.
heard
What
good
do they
things
do?
about it, but I've heard it.
I
Shit.
can't, what do they
Apparently.
brew? I can't remember what they brew. Minhas.
Chad talks about Minhas, and he never says good things about them.
They're not the ones who do Boxer, is it, Chad?
Yep,
Yeah.
Minhas is a boxer.
Yeah.
Fuck, that shit is toxic. Yeah, their watermelon beer, man. That shit is
I
nasty.
drank this beer while my house was being ravaged by a hurricane, and I couldn't even enjoy it. I mean, if you
No
look
shit.
if you look at the video, there's like wind blowing everywhere and stuff flying in the background, and I said, well, I might be killed. And you can hear the little tornadoes actually while I'm doing the video. You can hear like wee, and I'm thinking this.
Here's some full ones for you, Jay. A full Olympia Gold.
That shit's brewed in Calgary. The Minhas, but that's brewed in Washington, sorry.
Two board
Yeah.
gold.
It is Calgary, but they bought a brewery in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
They bought it.
Yay.
How about an old stock ale? 10
So you drank
And
you actually you drank a beer that was so bad you were hoping a hurricane would ravage you to death because it was so
Just
bad.
end it.
It was
Like,
almost
please
that
just
bad.
kill me now.
It was almost that bad. And the hurricane was going. I figured, well, how many opportunities will I have to do a beer review during a hurricane? Okay, Labatt's. Let's show that again.
Hmm.
Oh, the Labatt.
Blue.
Ooh, I love that beer.
Very bold label.
Very old label.
Very old, yep. Old and bold, baby. That's how I like
Here we
it.
go. Here's the
Hey, Chad, remember one of the first videos you ever made was for Schlitz Strong Beer, and they hated it so much. They hated it so much they loved it. It was a funny video. That was the old clear bottle.
Yeah, that was one of our gas mask videos.
That was a classic.
Yeah, that was me and my buddy Mark before he left. Some JR.
What does that stand for?
John Ross.
JR Ewing's private stock. Imported from Texas.
Oh, that's that something off of the old Dallas TV show.
Uh-huh.
What does it
Oh,
say
sh-
on the production? I bet it's San Antonio, huh? I bet it's Pearl Brewing. I bet you that's Pearl Brewing.
Yeah, it's Pearl Brewing.
Who shot JR, man?
1980.
Who
How
shot
did you know that, Ron?
Pardon?
Wasn't that Christine? I thought Christine shot JR.
I don't know, man.
I think it was Christine.
Here's
I never
All
one.
I know is my grandmother has a giant Dallas puzzle that you can put together. I never did it.
High Life. Mm.
Look at the color of this. And
I
then
love that
let's drink it.
shit.
It's a clear
I love that
bottle.
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
The champagne.
It's gonna give you diarrhea just looking at it.
How about players? Players? Anyone know players?
Like a cigarette?
I still need to get some kokanee, man.
Player. Is that a
Can't get
beer?
Coke?
Our
What's the
urban.
calories of our regular beer? Contains 70 calories. Actually, that's pretty good for a beer.
That's low.
Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee.
Oh, God.
Players?
Players, baby.
I gotta look that up. That's,
Oh, God, baby.
I'm gonna pop this one at some point just for you.
Players.
yeah, when you drive to New Orleans, we'll drink it.
What else we got here? Oh, here's one for you.
Hey, that's bringing me to tears.
Or how about this one? This one's
That's
from.
one of my favorite. Schaefer is one of my favorite American-style lagers. I have this big 40-ounce bottle. I thought I would be murdered buying this bottle, but I was willing to risk being murdered to buy it.
So the label hasn't changed
What?
in like 30 years, eh?
Wasn't it sold in the rich upper district?
Not
There
necessarily.
you go.
Not necessarily.
Woo!
U.S. Highway 40 in inner city Baltimore, and I was very terrified.
Oh, I've been there.
But when I saw that beer, I
Iron
was
City
very
Beer,
happy.
man. Iron City Beer, 1979.
Iron City.
Oh, that was
Iron City, baby.
Iron City is ghastly beer. It's horrible.
Yeah, I know. And they drink
I'll
it
be
in
honest
all
with
the
you.
Night of the Living
I'm
Dead movies.
I'm completely willing to open up and taste the can. Sorry, the bottles. I will not touch the cans.
No?
Horrible.
Those
I bought some Iron City beer at ABC Liquors in Fort Lauderdale, Florida in 2012, and I hated it.
I'm gonna buy some irons. I was gonna buy some Iron City beer when I was down near Pittsburgh in September, but I forgot. I'm gonna go down and grab some. I want to see it. They got Iron City Light in my local distributor, but I didn't. I wanted the real Iron City in cans.
Yeah, it's a wretch.
I just wanted to get it to collect the cans because I like all the George Romero stuff, and every time they always did that, they always drank the local beer.
Yeah, and I think and you're right. And I think Iron City is produced by who? A City Brewing, one of those off-the-wall companies.
Yeah, Steel City Brewing or something like that.
Yeah, it's not made in Pittsburgh.
That's what they drink. So I figure, what the hell, I'll get it.
Watch a Pittsburgh Steelers game or a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball game. Oh boy, they got icy beers everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And those people probably drink it and enjoy it and don't even know that they're supposed to hate it.
My mom and dad have both drank icy beer, and they're like, one thing you'll know, it's fucking horrible. And I'm okay. I'm like, I promise. She's like, just
so
don't
it has
think
it has a long history of being bad.
Yeah. It's very. They're like, it's horrible. It's horrible beer. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it. My parents are from my dad's family's all from Pittsburgh, but they're like, they drank it. They're like, it's not good. Don't even bother. I'm like, oh, come on, I gotta get a can of it at least.
Because Cruel
maybe even.
It's like vegetables. If it tastes bad, it's good for you.
Yeah, there you
Chris
go.
Cruel
Medicine.
sent
Take
me
it, bitch.
Rheingold. Chris Cruel sent me Rheingold, and it was mind-boggling. It was so bad.
Hey guys, I'm taking off for the night.
Well, Devin, when you go to work tomorrow, tell Steve I hate him. It smells like elderberries, and I'm going to kick him in the nuts.
All right. I will pass on the message, and we'll go from there.
And remind him that his mom thinks I'm cute.
It was nice to see everybody.
Good night.
Yeah.
No, I know we do this every week, but I only seem to be here every other week, so I imagine I'll see you all again.
Later, Devin.
Take care.
Later, man.
I'm gonna take off too, guys.
Nick?
Later.
See you.
Okay, Nick.
Nick,
Hey,
you have a wonderful night.
will do, and nice talking to you guys again. And I'll be around next week.
Good night.
See you, Nick.
Yeah, see. How does this thing end?
Long way to Tipperary.
It's a long way to go.
Sorry, I was just shoveling my face with poutine.
Poutine.
Oh, that's the French fries with the kind of like cheese curds on it.
Oh
Milk
yes, there was curds.
Yeah, I used to teach about that when I taught geography. I would tell the students, those people in Canada eat poutine. And they said, ugh.
People like moutine too. I'm not a moutine guy.
I don't know what that is, but the geography...
Moutine is poutine, but with mushrooms and mushroom gravy.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, the geography book talked about poutine.
Yeah, you gotta pronounce it poutine, or you get dirty looks. And even if you do pronounce it right, you still get dirty looks.
The
Is this
French
correct?
people dirty looks just because they're dirty.
My grandfather said his brothers used to eat curdled milk out of a bowl without anything added, just straight curdled milk out of a bowl with a spoon.
And them was hard times.
Throw that up. He said, oh yeah, they used to love it. He said, I wouldn't touch it, but they would eat that stuff like crazy.
I don't know, Robert. Who owns Mitsubishi?
Mitsubishi.
He told us to guess who owns Mitsubishi.
Ford.
No.
It's got to be ironic, right? It's got to be something ironic.
It's its own company. Mitsubishi.
I'll go with Hyundai. Yeah.
I know they made a lot of really good military airplanes in World War II, and
They made a Japanese Zero, didn't they?
I'm going with Chrysler because they have a Mitsubishi engine in some minivans.
Chrysler.
Yeah.
Chrysler has a long-standing working arrangement with Mitsubishi, but they do not own Mitsubishi.
You don't think so? I just know because I've seen minivans with like these little 3-cylinder Chrysler or Mitsubishi engines in a Dodge Caravan.
Yeah, I think what happened was Chrysler and Mitsubishi made a partnership back in the early 1970s. Not a merger, just they agreed to start collaborating, just like General Motors did with Isuzu Motors of Japan.
Well, what was the other one? Toyota and Pontiac, weren't they in cahoots together? Because the Pontiac Vibe was like a Toyota Matrix.
Yeah, and Chevrolet Geo was the same as a Toyota Corolla, so they had a partnership. General Motors had a partnership with Isuzu especially, and Ford has not only a partnership but almost like an ownership of Mazda. I think Ford owns a big stake in Mazda. Maybe they outright own it, but they have certainly have a big interest in it.
AB InBev owns
It says
Mitsubishi.
Daimler Chrysler.
Daimler.
Oh, I was right there. Oh.
No way. Daimler Chrysler might have an investment in Mitsubishi Motors, but not Mitsubishi Corporation. You know that corporation is so huge.
Well, Robert says a company called Dentsu.
I don't believe it. He's part of the Illuminati.
A company called Dentsu. You'll never hear of them, is what he wrote.
Well, they're behind the contrails.
The chemtrails.
Chemtrails or whatever. I don't know.
It's very scary. Well, Chad, I don't know what y'all talked about for the first 3 hours because I was out of action. Well, I was in action, but I was not part of this action. What was the? Just give me a summary.
Summary. Teku Murray doesn't want to talk about any company that is owned by a big brand. Neither does Joe or Aaron. Some things
I'm
with
drinking
LCBO. He's
I'm drinking
the Triple
Kirkland beer.
I don't know. We talked about things you don't realize when you're opening a brewery.
Oh yeah, the cost of opening a brewery you're on about.
Yeah, it must be so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
The
unwanted sex.
the different little things in the different provinces, like in New Brunswick, you can order anything that the LCBO sells. In Ontario, you can order anything, but you have to pay for the LCBO lab test, the LCBO shipping, and buy a certain amount of cases for each different beer. I don't know, just a bunch of bullshit. This week we didn't actually have real topics to talk about. I hadn't slept at all this week, so I just came in to shoot the shit and drink a beer.
Yeah, you were kind of out of it.
I check. Iron City is brewed by a Pittsburgh Brewing Company in Pittsburgh, I guess, since 1861. They make Iron City Light, and Iron City Mango Light. And I'm like, oh, gotta get that for Chad.
Yeah, but
Iron City Mango Light.
I think it's contract brewed. I have a bottle right here. Hold on a second.
I don't know. I know Pittsburgh Brewing Company's still in Pittsburgh. The brewery itself is still in Pittsburgh. So it's not like, 99% of the beers everyone drinks all the time that's considered macro lager isn't mass-produced and licensed anyway.
I'm not trying to. Uh-oh. Here we go. Iron City Beer, premium lager.
Because I couldn't remember the name of the brewery that was supposed to be, because I always assumed it was Iron City, but they said it was something else. They said, I guess it's licensed under Pittsburgh.
Yeah, brewed and bottled in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Oh, well,
Okay.
That's brewing.
Right down.
Yeah, and who is Latrobe? City Brewing. And who is City Brewing? Melanie Brewing. And what do they make? Camo Extra X, Camo Silver Ice, and all those other. And they make the Four Loko beers, and they make the ever famous Earthquake High Gravity Lager, the only beer that ever made me throw up.
There are a few camos, not camos, Four Locos I don't mind.
But
so it's a bunch of a brewery that makes a whole bunch of bad beer. Okay.
But interestingly, they also got the contract to brew Guinness American Blonde Lager, if you can imagine that.
More bad beer. There you go.
No, I haven't tried it.
They actually can. They can. Yeah, I was gonna say they actually bought the since Rolling Rock got bought and moved and this out of Latrobe. I was gonna say I just remember that Iron City actually owns a canning line there now, so that's cool. Yeah, and I like that. I hated Rolling Rock. It was one of the worst beers ever, in my opinion. But at the same time, I was sad to hear Latrobe got shut down because that's people out of jobs and everything. But then I was really happy when I heard Sam Adams and Iron City kind of got it back up and running again.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, here's the crazy thing about it, Paul. Okay, Latrobe was bought out by Anheuser-Busch in 2006. Well, I think they improved the beer because it always used to have a strange chalky undertaste, which I find that Anheuser-Busch got rid of that weirdness. They probably said the same thing I did. What's this weird chalky undertaste? Okay, City Brewing bought that brewery. City Brewing bought the brewery in La Crosse, and City Brewing bought the old brewery in Memphis, which was a Schlitz brewery. Now, here's the question. Who in the world is City Brewing? These people are going around buying breweries, but they have no discernible income, and they don't even have a website. I mean, they have a website, City Brewing, but it tells you nothing. It doesn't tell you who the owners are, nothing. I wrote them an email. They gave me a very evasive answer.
So it sounds like it's either two options, the Illuminati or the Catholic Church. It's one of those two.
No.
Or Bigfoot.
Well, it's probably the Rosicrucians, but...
not those guys.
Well, think about it.
The
3 breweries, 3 is a multiple, is a factor of 9.
Okay. 9. Right? Oh, my God.
I mean, they could have had 2 breweries or 1, but no, they chose 3. Now,
They
but
so choose 3.
and one is in the north, one is in the south, and one is in the northeast, so it makes a triangle. So if you sat in the middle, it would make an eye.
Yeah, the ever-seeing eye. Oh, great.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a false flag operation run by Vladimir Putin, Barack Obama, and the Grand
Oprah
Duchy
Winfrey.
of Luxembourg.
Not that bitch.
And the Beatles. But besides that, I'm often wondering if City Brewing is not a secret company owned by Pabst.
Blue Ribbon.
It might
No,
be
I'm
Central City Brewing we have makes Red Racer.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
City,
in
Well,
Vancouver,
Central
right?
City.
City Brewing is very kind of a sneaky little company, and but they have, but look what they have the contract for. This is why I think they're somehow secretly owned by Pabst. They have the contract to brew Guinness Blonde Lager. They have the contract to brew Sapporo, of all things. And they have the contract to brew Samuel Adams beers. And what's
Yeah.
the other one? What's the other big one? So, yeah, you specialize in making the worst beers on planet Earth, but yet you get all these lucrative contracts out of the blue. It makes me wonder.
You know, that it just makes me say it's actually secretly owned by Greg Koch from Stone, but he just won't put his name on it. But he makes a shit ton of money off of it.
Ah.
So there it is.
Well, you know,
Follow
if
the
they're,
beards.
if they're brewing,
Now
if
you
they're
might be
brewing,
onto something.
if they're brewing
There
things
you
like
go.
Sapporo and all that, it actually could be PBR because PBR is brewed by Sleeman in Canada, and Sleeman's owned by Sapporo.
Well, I did some digging. And if you look on the Pabst website, Pabst has all these like little phantom websites, and one of the websites is special export beer. And what Pabst does is they write text, and then they don't keep track of the text that they write. And if you read the special export website, it talks about where their beer is brewed, and it says, well, you know, some of our beer is brewed at the old La Crosse brewery in Wisconsin. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Why would it be brewed there? I thought all your beer was brewed at Miller. But, so now we know that Special Export and Sapporo and Samuel Adams and the Guinness American Lager is all coming from Latrobe and La Crosse from this mysterious company called City Brewing. Well, it's very bizarre, and I would like to figure it out.
They're probably putting fluoride into the beer to help control people, too.
I think you're digging too deep, Ron.
No, I'm not digging too deep. No, I'm not digging too deep. I'm not digging too deep.
You're gonna get yourself in trouble.
I wrote an email, dear Zerka, I wrote an email to City Brewing, and I said, let me ask y'all a question. I said, are you owned by Melanie Brewing Company? And they said, first of all, they said, why are you asking us that question? Then they said, well,
oh yeah, man, you got to go in there like James Bond with the bow tie. You can't just write a letter like that.
yeah, and then they said, well, we have an equity agreement with them, and we have an arrangement with them. I didn't know what they were talking about. And I know I know Melanie Brewing is named after a woman named Melanie Seaver. Melanie Seaver.
It doesn't seem to be like money doesn't chase good shit all the time. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense that
No, bad.
they're all like
products can have
they're
good
all in
money behind
cahoots.
it.
Yeah,
Those
you know
people
what I
are
mean?
making a killing out of producing filth.
Yeah, like I try to do the best job I can at work. It doesn't really get me anywhere. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Good reputation. It doesn't make me rich. You know.
Right. When I was a school teacher, I did a good job, and other teachers did an awful job, and we all got paid the same.
Yeah.
But I wish somebody could do some investigation. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not a big conspiracy, but it would be nice to know who actually owns City Brewing. And if I had to put money, I would say it's secretly owned by Pabst because, you know, in 1999, they said Pabst got rid of all their breweries. Pabst used to own a lot of breweries. But my my thing is, did they actually get rid of all of them, or did they set up phantom front companies?
Well, that's how the world works, right? I mean, that's just the way shit is. They loopholes, right? The tax reasons and shit. Who knows, right?
Right.
Well,
There's a
one
reason.
thing, it's the one thing that a lot of craft breweries talk about is just being able to see exactly what it is. You want to know who actually makes your brewery. Well, makes your beer. You don't want a phantom brewery name. Just tell you who actually makes it, and it
Yeah.
could be.
You talked about Sam Adams. They're the most notorious company for being secretive, right? Like for years, Samuel Adams had like 95% of their beer contract brewed by who? Miller and Pabst. And they didn't want anybody to know that, and they tried to make it look like all their beer was coming from that little quaint brewery in Boston, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's scary. But I mean, like when Stephen Harper came in here, like he didn't disclose anything. A lot of people think he's good for a prime minister, but I wish I could have the privacy sometimes. As to people poking in everyone's. You know what I mean? Like maybe they just want privacy, right? Maybe they're entitled to that.
I don't care. If they want privacy, no,
I don't know the laws. I don't know the laws, but like, do they have to tell anybody who owns what?
I don't think so. I don't think so. And but like Chad would say, what difference does it make if the beer tastes good? Why would you care? That's true.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right?
That's the main point. But
I like Rolling Rock. I thought Rolling Rock was awesome for what it is. I thought it was very clean.
Yep. But if you watch the Samuel Adams commercials, they show it's like they're at this little, almost like a family brewery, and they're smelling the hops and all.
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't tell you it's like 90. They don't come on there and say, you should buy Samuel Adams beer because Miller does a great job making our beer for us. That wouldn't come across so nice.
Yeah, well, it must be a reason to be secretive, is what you're saying. Like they're trying to hide all that shit.
They don't want people to know that Miller is making their beer. I mean, it happens on both sides. I mean, how long did nobody know that Third Shift was a Miller Coors thing, or that Blue Moon and Shock Top wasn't, and like it goes on both sides. And then you have the craft brewers that do it. Craft brewers that are contract brewers and don't want you to know that they're contract brewing at a big guy or at a horrible little guy. It happens on both sides of the equation.
Right, but really, there's no excuse for people not knowing that Third Shift and Batch 19 was made by Miller and Coors, because if you get on the Miller Coors website, they're very clear about what beers they make. They'll just say Leinenkugels, Blue Moon, and they'll even say on their website, we developed these products to compete with the craft beer movement. I mean, it's very explicit. It's not even like secretive, but they're not going to sit there and it's not on them to educate clueless consumers who are too lazy to do any research. And like I said a few weeks ago, I don't think most consumers give a hoot who makes it. They just like it, so they buy it.
Do you get Kirkland beer in Louisiana? You must, eh?
Apparently we do, because I was at a sporting event, and I saw somebody walking by with a 12-pack of Kirkland beer, so he had to buy it somewhere. And it caught my eye, and it was in New Orleans, and I gasped, and I said, Kirkland. Well, he didn't drive to Canada to get it, so
yeah.
Isn't that a city brewing beer?
Well, we had different opinions. On the bottle, it says brewed and bottled by Hopfin, UND Malts Brewing Company, San Jose, California.
Oh, San Jose, that must be Gordon Biersch.
Yeah, all it says on here is brewed by Hopfin, UND, I don't know what that means, Malts with a Z, Brewing Company.
With a zero?
No, just a Z. M-A-L-Z, you know what I mean? And then it was Hop.
Oh, you mean letter Z?
Yeah, M-A-L-Z instead of T-S, right?
I swear to you, and I'm not making this up, I never heard anyone in my life say Z until I was in Prince Edward Island in the year 2000.
Oh, Z? Yeah, Z, Z. Yeah, we say Z a lot.
I never
We say
knew
both.
that.
In Rush. Yeah, I had a buddy named Zeddy.
I was in Charlottetown, and I asked this girl. I said, she was good looking too. But anyway, I said, I said, where can I go to get coffee? Because my grandmother's driving me crazy. She wants to get coffee. And she said, oh, you go down the street here to that place, Beans, Beanz. I said, wait a minute. What did you just say? She said, Beans, Beanz. I said, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean, Zed? And then she rolled her eyes and said, oh, you're from the States, huh? Okay, Z, Beanz.
Well, you seen Pulp Fiction, right?
That's
No.
dead, baby.
Dad's dead, baby.
I never
That was
seen that movie.
Oh, you haven't seen Pulp Fiction? That's quite the movie.
I don't watch too many movies, but I know about it.
Character in that movie, and there's like dead, baby. That was like the big line in the whole thing.
But I was fascinated by that, her saying Zed. I never heard that in my life, Zed. I said, wow, Zed, I'm 32 years old. What is... But now I know that that's what people call Z. I thought everybody on Earth said letter Z.
Not the Irish.
Okay, well, here's the answer. Kirkland Beer is owned by Costco, which is a big wholesale corporation. Costco. They have a store in New Orleans, so that must be where those guys bought that beer, at Costco.
Yeah, I bought mine at Costco. Yeah.
It's contract brewed by...
Kirkland is the Costco brand.
It's contract brewed by Gordon Biersch in California and FX Matt in New York. Well, there's the answer.
Yeah.
It's a store brand. It's a store brand.
Oh.
I don't know what they call that in Canada. We say a store brand or a private label brand.
Yeah, they make trail mix and all kinds of shit, like up here, whatever.
Yeah. Well, we get an enormous amount of Canadian products in our grocery store, especially meat and jelly and cheese.
Yeah, that's a big controversy where I'm from. Is we used to sell a lot of meat to the States, and then the BSE thing, when they didn't want to buy it anymore, they really shut down the borders on beef for a while, and it fucked up the beef prices out here for a long time. But now it's okay again, sort of thing.
Oh yeah, we get so much meat, and it's cold, but it's not frozen. It's just cold, like chilled. So it's probably been on. It probably hasn't been on the road for too long. I'd like to look at. I need to look closely and see where in Canada. Like, is it Western Canada?
Probably, yeah. What we have, if you take a highway through British Columbia, that's nonstop cattle liners going through Spokane. And through Washington at a border crossing. Non-stop cattle liners, man. You'll see thousands of them.
That's interesting.
That's all you see. You'll pass cattle liner after cattle liner, just non-stop.
Wow.
Coming from feedlots where I'm from here. Non-stop beef, man.
And you live in British Columbia?
Alberta, man. Like, see my flag? It's all barley.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah, that's right. Alberta. Sorry. I remember the flag now. Well, I guess I better go too, Chad. I'm sorry you hadn't been sleeping, but I hope you get a good night's sleep.
Alrighty, you have a good night. YouTube, I'm going to log off, and we're just going to keep chatting offline because you're not good enough to talk to us anymore.
Okay, Chad, I'm going to call it a night too.